Yeah, welcome everybody. My name is Dimitri as usual. I'm here for a new session, a new live session, and here with me today I have the great honor to introduce my longtime friend, the one and only from Rome, the one and only Riccardo Gioggi, who is probably here somewhere. Hold on. Here we
Not
go. Yeah.
here.
How you doing?
Hello.
How
Hi,
you doing,
Demic.
man?
How you doing?
Good to
How
see
are
you.
you,
Good to see
everybody?
you.
Good evening,
And
boys and girls, and Demic. Thanks for
welcome.
hosting me.
My
Thanks.
big pleasure.
My
So
pleasure. How you doing?
I'm doing great. What
Okay.
about you?
I'm great, doing fine. Just had, usual stuff. A bunch of lessons today, and then a big walk with my dog, and then dinner, a little bit of warm up, and not enough because warming up is never enough for me because I always have my fucking hands always freeze, always, every day, in every season, and but especially
Wait,
from autumn to spring.
yeah. Well, you tell that to me. I live in Norway, so and I'm Italian. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
also anyway.
Yeah,
Ricardo is from Rome, so usually, of course, me and Ricardo we kind of speak Italian. We have different dialects, but we speak Italian.
usually.
But of course, today we thought about maybe we should do that in English because the people who are following us, both me and him, I mean, at least I guess 50% of those people, more probably, like 70%,
Yeah,
let's say.
and
On
something on
Facebook,
my
YouTube, especially on YouTube,
yeah,
they are not
especially on
from Italy.
YouTube.
So
My last time I checked my the analytics, the stats on YouTube, I had 56% of my audience outside Italy, especially in US and France. For some reason, I don't know, but I'm really glad about this because I love France, and
I mean, probably because of the all the gear thing and the NAM show and all those kind of conventions
oh
that you go to.
yeah,
So
probably don't know why, but that's great. That's absolutely
and be,
great.
and because in general, I guess that YouTube is more like an international thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
so let's see. Our story goes back to I don't know
2005,
2005 probably. Yeah,
five.
when I
Yeah,
when actually with Arcadia we have been to we had our bass player was a common friend
yeah,
Marco Shigeo Mastrobuono, and we played a couple of gigs in Rome, and then we have been traveling. We traveled to down to Naples or Salerno or something like that in the
yeah.
south of Italy.
Somewhere in the southern
And,
part of Italy, I
yeah,
remember
and
we drove all night, and
yeah,
probably we were in two cars, and one car
yeah,
were me and you and the other guitar players, and
yeah.
in the
Well,
other car.
I don't remember that, but probably it was already like after the first gig, so my memory is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah. You Arcadia did the gig. Then we packed up everything, and then we went straight somewhere in the southern part of Italy.
yeah.
Don't know.
I think it was Salerno probably, which is not so long from Rome, a couple of hours, but I guess we left like
Yeah,
at
2 or 3 hours. Yeah,
yeah.
So
And
a long time friends. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. And then, but then after that, probably we didn't hang out so much together until probably 2012 or 13 when you released your
Yeah.
first solo album, which
Yes.
the title of the album was
The title is a theory.
A Theory of Dynamics.
Yeah, a theory of
Yeah,
dynamics.
and that was released by Steve. It was not produced, but released by
Yeah,
Steve I Favorite Nation.
yeah.
And
Digital Nations. It was
Digital Nation, yeah,
digital
was the
division
division,
of Favored
yeah,
Nations, yeah, which is the
exactly,
main label. And
yeah, which
no,
was
no,
already, which was, I mean, for a debut album, was a great
oh,
shout because,
amazing,
anyways, it's especially at that time was the biggest
yeah,
record label working with
yeah,
that kind of music, like
absolutely. It
instrumental
was
rock guitar.
it was a dream come true, really. And I I still remember the day when Sean, which is, I don't know, the guy, the A&R guy in the label, sent me an email and said, wrote, yeah, we like what you do. Let's work together. Let's put out your music. And I said, oh, what the fuck? What are you saying?
Yeah.
And it was,
Yeah, I guess it was. I guess it kind of came like a surprise because
yeah,
you were more like busy, promoting yourself. Like, okay, this is the first release. I have a long way in front of me, and then you
yeah, it
were really,
wasn't,
really like into
yeah,
doing this album and releasing, and then suddenly this big outbreak, and you were like, oh
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
things are happening
absolutely.
for real, right?
Exactly my reaction. Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, and it wasn't expected. I didn't saw a thing like that coming in any way. I produced and recorded and made everything besides the mastering process. I didn't want to do the mastering process, and because I needed somebody else to manage that.
yeah, a
Yes.
different overview. And by
Yeah.
the way, we already got a lot of comments, and
Oh,
here
really?
we have here we have Kent Grapperud. You remember our
Oh,
friend?
yeah,
He
yeah,
wrote he
yeah,
wrote
yeah.
the Theorodynamics is a masterpiece.
Oh, thank you so much, Ken. How you doing,
And
buddy? I remember you,
of course we have Filippo Rosati, our
Filippo,
common friend,
guys. Thanks.
and your student, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a long time. It's actually he is no more my student because he's a grown-up guy. That we are kind of colleagues or friends at the moment.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not teaching him anymore, and but
I mean,
yeah,
probably you guys teach
here and
each other's stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and I also ask him a lot of advices to him
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
young, he knows a lot of stuff better than me, especially on social media and Instagram and those kind of young people stuff. And yeah, he's a
Yeah,
very, very
probably we should arrange a workshop with him teaching something about Twitch, since
yeah,
we need
absolutely.
we need to
We,
more we need to know
yeah,
more we
yeah,
need to
yeah,
have
yeah.
more knowledge about all those things.
Okay, the next streaming, you will be with us and you will teach us how to stream.
But still, still I'm 40 years old this year, and I am being able to do this online with all this technology here is already a good achievement for me, honestly. Nothing worse than that. So
Yeah, and there is also Valerio, which is my cousin. Ciao, Valerio.
yeah.
And yeah, and yeah, Filippo, teach us how to be young, how to
Exactly.
how to look young at least.
How to overcome the age. But yeah, and then of course Cacao from Arcadia, who came first. He was waiting for us to show up. And by the way,
Yeah,
now we're still at the debut album, and then we have been touring together a little bit because you
yeah,
went to
yeah, yeah.
Norway, in
We did a
Italy,
couple
in
of
that
stuff
year.
together. Yeah, I remember that my solo album, A Theory of Dynamics, came out, and a few months later we met and at
Right.
music
At
fair in
yeah,
Bologna,
yeah.
and
There's a
we
show
kind
like the NAM show and those things.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was playing for PV there, I remember.
Really, yeah, I remember, and we kind of reconnecting
Yeah,
again
exactly.
that day.
That was the day that we reconnected. That's right.
Yeah, and we start that very day planning. We remember we were drinking a coffee and said, "Man, we got to do something together. Let's plan a tour. Let's do something." And
Actually, we were drinking a beer, and I remember it was before a demo that I had to play, and
probably,
I didn't eat anything. And after the
yeah,
beer, you left, and I was like, okay, now I have to play the demo, but I feel kind of a little bit too happy to be able to play the
yeah.
demo, and I did that anyway. So it
Too
was
happy
probably
to
the last
play,
demo I had to
too
play.
happy to play a heavy metal set. You can't
Exactly,
be
exactly,
happy. And
exactly.
yeah, it's very likely it was a beer. Maybe I remember a coffee because I drink coffee.
And probably a coffee as well. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and probably both. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
And then
And
we arranged this tour, and we played in Norway, and we played in Italy. So I
yeah,
think
we did a
we
bunch of
started out in Italy. In
gigs.
Italy,
And in Italy,
and
we
we
played in Rome and a crazy gig at the. I want to say that the name of the club. I don't give a fuck, but the Traffic Light Club. Do you remember? And during my set, I was playing the title track, the Theory of Dynamics, the song which is the hardest song in the album, and all of the lighting system came down. Do you
yeah, but
remember?
a lot of crazy shit happened there. Also, you had
Yeah,
some
well,
problems with
we
with the
had
guitar. The guitar you played at that time. You
yeah,
had a
I
different guitar.
had any technical problem you can
Yeah.
imagine. I usually don't have technical issues, and let me touch wood, because I still have to play
Well,
today.
usually in Italy we don't touch wood. We touch something else. But I
But
think
that's something
you
else.
did
But I
everything you
want
can.
to be
Yeah.
polite. I wanted to be polite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
very very
But no,
polite.
I remember that gig. But for me, everything went smooth because we had a lot of problems before the gig because we didn't have the bass player. So the bass player was waiting for us in Rome, and he didn't rehearse with us. We just rehearsed the day before. So we had really a lot of problems before to be there. But when we were there, everything went really
Yeah,
nice.
for me it was kind of the opposite. The rehearsal went great. Everything was smooth and cool, and the actual gig was a mess. But this kind of shit happens, so it's
But usually in the beginning of the tour is always like that. It takes like a cup. Yeah, I mean you can prepare how much you want, but I know that the first day is just like an
yeah,
extra rehearse in a way.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, in case
Yeah, per se, it's an experiment, so to speak.
yeah,
Yes.
you just need to test the stage and you grow up day after day. After
Yeah,
like
yeah,
4 or
absolutely.
5 gigs, you get
Yeah, I
really
remember
into the
we
touring
played in
mode.
Rome. Then we did a couple of guitar clinics in I don't remember, in Pesaro and
Yeah,
in
in the east coast of Italy. Yeah.
hometown in northern Parma, Vercelli, and we played in Vercelli as well. And then probably a month later, I
You played in
flew
Norway.
in Norway. We played a bunch of gigs there, and maybe one or two, maybe two guitar clinics as well. Don't remember exactly the number.
Guitar clinic where
We did guitar clinics
yeah,
somewhere,
we did.
some
I think
part of
one guitar clinic, and the rest was gigs in clubs. But
gigs. Yeah,
that's
gigs in
fun.
class. Yeah, 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 yeah. And and it was December in Norway. It was fucking cold. It
I
was
remember it was
nine.
really cold.
I remember it
Well, it
was
was not. It was minus 12 that day. The
nine.
last day before you left.
No, no,
It
no, no. It was
oh
minus
okay
14. Minus 14. I totally remember.
okay yeah
And
12, 14. After minus 10 is just
yeah, and I was
freezing cold.
freezing.
So
I remember this. I was completely freezing, and there were people around me totally fine with this, with just hoodies and maybe
uh,
a jacket or something.
uh,
All of the stuff we usually wear in Italy in I don't know, September or
yeah,
October, and
or
these
August probably.
Norwegian guys were wearing stuff, and I just probably I would die immediately if I
Well,
if I dress like
I mean, if we
guys.
are talking about like Friday and Saturday night, it's probably the power of alcohol in Norway, which is keeping the spirit alive. I can imagine.
Yeah,
But yeah, so and after that, we played also different tours together. We have been in Italy again and
yeah,
different stuff, and then after some years, we more or less we started doing we followed the same path in
yeah,
music.
more or less. Yeah,
We
yeah,
we
basically.
started to do endorsements and playing,
Yeah,
clinics and stuff like that. So
gigs and demos and
yeah,
you know,
going from solo work to bands, session works, and then
yeah,
I already had the studio at that time. You opened the studio a
yeah.
couple
This
of
is
years
yeah, yeah,
after that.
yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And so more or less we have been doing the same things up to the point that in some years after that we just met during the conventions like NAM and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah.
until this year, which we have
Until
to
this
mention,
year, yeah. Let's.
we
Yeah,
me and you, we have been lucky because we had the chance to play at least NAM this year, right? But right
yeah,
before the outbreak of COVID.
yeah,
So at
absolutely.
least we can say that we made NAM. It was a great NAM.
And I'm pretty sad about this because I played just the 2 NEMs edition, and the first
Well,
my
so far, but it
far,
won't
yeah,
happen again enough.
far, yeah, and it was great, and especially the first time I went to the NEM, it was like like a dream, like something.
It's magic. It's like
Yeah,
suddenly the magic happens, and you don't really know how to explain that shit. I mean,
yeah.
the
It's
same
very,
that happened.
yeah,
It
yeah, yeah,
happened to me in 2015. I was there. And I was like, the the things that are happening here are completely insane. Like I'm
yeah,
dreaming,
totally,
or what the
absolutely,
hell is going on.
absolutely. Yeah,
And then year after year, it was always better and better. But you get used to those things, so you don't really think about that anymore. But I remember the first year, the first 2 years was really like I couldn't really explain why
yeah,
those things were happening.
yeah.
But
For me,
I told if you remember, I told you before you were coming to Nam the first year. I had the clinic at your place. We
yeah,
spoke
here,
about those
here,
things during the clinic.
yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that. Yeah,
But then after you try those things, you really understand what I meant probably.
absolutely. Yeah, it's really something. There's something magical in NEM, and it's very stressful as well. At least for me, because you have to fly for 12 hours, and in the first 2 days, I was completely fucked up from the jet lag, completely jet lagged, and I was kind of like a zombie.
In 2016, I had to take like I don't remember 3 flights or something like that. It took probably 26 hours to be in LA. So I
Oh
was completely wasted, completely.
yeah,
And but usually I'm used that the first couple of days, at least the first day, I'm so tired that I just make it through, and then I sleep probably for 12 hours, and the day after that, then I start numb, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah. But I had to play in both of the years at the very first day. I had to play every day in the last 2 NAMS editions. So I felt like I was acting and playing like a human being on Saturday. The last 2 days, the first 2 days, I was something unbalanced and oh shit. But I made it. I made it. Yeah, you have to be really, really focused. And I drank a lot of coffee, tons of coffee. Yeah. I
really
gave
good coffee, really
yeah,
good coffee.
yeah. I don't know. I
Yeah.
gave so much money to Starbucks, to the Starbucks in front
Starbucks coffee is good.
convention center. Yeah, and
And during those years, you have been working with a lot of different companies. That's why you
oh
were at NAM. One of the
yeah,
reasons why we were at NAM was with those. So your endorsement at the moment are
our
maybe you can speak about that.
Ibanez guitars,
Ibanez
and
guitars, yeah.
which is something I'm very I feel honored and really, really blessed, so to speak.
Blessed, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
because it's something Ibanez. It's something I dreamt of when I was a kid, and I didn't have an Ibanez yet, but I all of my heroes were playing an Ibanez.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that it's probably my favorite type of guitar, at least type of guitar. But the brand is great. I mean, Ibanez is one of those brands that they always produce good stuff, and sometimes they are cheap, but they are good anyways. I
They're
mean,
good. Yeah,
the
absolutely.
balance between the quality and the price is. I never played an Ibanez, and I was like, oh, this guitar is not good. They were
Yeah,
always, I mean, of course, balanced with the price.
yeah. Of course, you
You
have to
spend
consider.
just like a
Yeah,
couple of hundred of bucks, but you
yeah.
still get the guitar which values is at least double. You know, it's
Absolutely.
yeah. And my favorite guitar, which I have it here, it's the Universe 7 string. I
Wow.
use that for at least half of my career. I mean, it's a great guitar. I still love it nowadays. And
And now I am using this one. This is a 752 RG, and basically this became my main guitar, and it's very it's pretty different from the usual RG, because it has something, maybe the woods or the electronics, the pickups are the Marcio Puff 7 pickups, which are very, very quiet pickups. So this is
they are
now
low output
low
pickups,
output,
right?
yeah.
I
And
think I think I tried that guitar the latest time I had
yeah,
it.
yeah, and you said, shit, this guitar is almost better than my universe. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
something.
I mean, of course, my universe is the best guitar in the world, but that's
Yeah,
pathetic.
yeah, because you played that guitar for 20
No,
years.
but
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I mean, I was really impressed, not just by the pickups, of course, the sustain on the guitar, but I think half of the reason why there is so much sustain and stuff is I think it's also the neck, and especially the fretboard and stuff. And what kind of frets do you have? Do you have the
And
jumbo there?
I don't know what kind of frets, but these are the frets are the stock frets. I didn't change
Yeah,
anything.
not yet.
So I don't remember the spec. This spec at the moment. I probably they are jumbo. I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
have the
probably.
jumbo in my.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
still, even if I have the jumbo, I use the guitar so much that I had to refret that 2 times already.
Yeah, you.
And that was when I was using just and only that guitar, so I used that.
Yeah. And yeah. This is. I'm very. I have to say this. I am very, very picky about guitar. I don't. Basically, I don't like any guitars. But when I found the one, I don't change anything. This is the guitar as anybody can buy in any shop, and I like it
So
this way.
this is one of the guitars that you got from Ibanez when you started working with them, because you had
No, this
also
is the
another.
second. This is the
Okay.
second guitar. The first guitar, and I want to show you. Give me.
Yeah, but I mean, you got it together with endorsement, this one, because you
Oh
had the
yeah,
Ibanez before.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, the guys from Ibanez Italy called me and said something. Okay, we like you. We want to work with you. And I said, really? Yeah. Are you sure?
Why?
Why exactly?
Yeah.
And
But,
yeah,
and
and
you also have like a 6 string version of that, an 8 string or
no,
something.
I have all on different models, and there is a.
Which model is that?
This is
The one
the
you have now.
752 AHM. This is the name of the model, and there is a six string version of this one, and there is a fixed bridge version. But I really love the Floyd, and I really love also the fixed bridge. I really don't care about the bridge. I mean, I like anyway, and but I have different models for the 6, the 7, and the 8 string electric guitar from Ibanez. So I don't have doubles, so to speak.
And which one is your main guitar for tracking music usually? Like if you have
This
to
one,
track
at the moment,
this.
this
So
one.
you use that even if you have like a production which is not exactly like a rock or metal production. You
Yeah,
can use the
absolutely.
7 string.
Yeah, because this one having this low output electronics, it's very
makes
very versatile, and it's almost like a telly inside an RG, and the sound is very detailed and focused, and you can really play a lot of different styles, and with this one, yeah. And I really love the sound for the lead guitar pass from this one.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just cut through the mix better than.
Maybe since we have been speaking already for a little while, maybe you want to play something. You want to play
Oh
something
yeah,
famous
yeah,
about that
absolutely.
guitar.
Yeah, and I'm going to play.
So we can actually hear like it sounds in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is my. I'm running in my tube head and a bunch of pedals here, and all of this.
Which amp is that?
Angle Screamer, 50 watts. And
do you have a tube screamer in front? Do you have something in front of the?
no, I I'm running from the guitar. I'm running into a bunch of pedals and a BB preamp, a tube screamer, and an AVH overdrive, 5150 overdrive from MXR. All of this into the power amp of the head. I'm not using the preamp section of the head.
Ah, cool.
And all of this.
I also do that sometimes. I do that.
Yeah. It seems to work. It's something different. I really digging into this kind of guitar tone lately. And all of this into the Torpedo Captor X from Two Notes Audio Engineering. And
the company you're endorsed by, right?
Yeah, and not officially, not yeah. They sent me the Captor X, and I act like an official endorser. So I talk about this product all the time, and I did several videos on my YouTube channel because I really love this product. And actually, I don't care if I am an official endorser or not. This is good stuff. This is good stuff.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Like when I started working with Hoton, I worked with Hoton for probably 2 years before I was officially an artist, but I really didn't care because we were working together. I mean,
And I have to thank Stefano from Mogar Music, Stefano Peloso, which is a friend, and it's one of the nicest guy you can meet in this business, absolutely. And so he works for the Italian distributor of the Two Notes Audio Engineering, and he sent me this Captor X just for trying it and just for making videos, and he just said okay, and I fell totally in love with this device. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. And so incredible that I think I'm not going to use real cabs on stage anymore. I don't want to.
But let's play a song and then we keep picking.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to play a song from the last and first Inkfall album. Inkfall is my band, and which is an instrumental trio. We play prog, electro, I don't know what. That music, okay?
Well, I listened to the album. The album is great. I was in the beginning. I have been at your place like a couple of years, 3 years ago probably, and I remember I heard something, but the final product is a completely different thing compared.
We'll talk about it.
It sounded like you really changed skin during those years, and I would define that like, of course, it's prog material, but between the drums that are really like natural, because there is no sampling, there is not so much editing and stuff. It sounds like almost like some kind of progressive indie rock in a way, but instrumental.
Wow, I like this.
Yeah, I have that feeling. Like if there was somebody singing on that, it would sound like almost like a really cool indie rock band. But we, of course, with that kind of progressive flavor.
Wow, I like this. This label.
Maybe that's an idea for some kind of description of the band.
Yeah. Actually, we always struggled in describe what we do. You have to, put yourself in a genre just to communicate.
But you know what? It's kind of difficult if you are in the band to really understand what the hell you're playing.
Yeah. So
from outside, they can have like a different perspective.
Next time I'll call you the day before we start recording the next album. Yeah. So we will have the idea of what we're doing. Yeah. Absolutely.
So the song is called.
Yes, the song is called "You Have to Focus Trinity." And
that's why Filippo Rosati, he around 10 minutes ago, he wrote, "You have to focus, Riccardo." And I didn't really understand what he meant, but now I get it since that. Probably he probably knew that before. You told him or something.
He knew, and Filippo was actually. I had to. This is probably the first time I give him credit to the world. to the real world about this, but he was my studio assistant when I recorded guitars, and he gave me a big help, and he was very helpful, and yeah, so he knows the album very, very well. And,
so he was sitting at the console when you were recording.
Yeah, when I was recording acoustic guitar and classical guitar in the recording room. So I asked him something like, "I need somebody to track
and that makes sense, because every time I do that here, I do that by myself, and it's a lot of stress. I mean, as long as it's the guitar, it's already stressful to do the guitar and the producing at the same time. But yeah, I get used to that. But the acoustic guitar, especially when every time you had the microphone all around and you move back and forward and stuff like that, you know, it's
absolutely.
Anyways, you had to focus Trinity. We go
with Trinity, and you can find also an official video clip for this one on YouTube. Just type Inkfall or Trinity, Riccardo, Inkfall, whatever you want. And yeah, the album, by the way, is called The Invisible into Visible. And you can find it on Spotify, of course, on iTunes, or I don't know, Amazon Music, any streaming platform.
Any platform, yeah.
Any platform, yeah, absolutely. And so I guess I'm going to play something. Okay, let's rock. Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, thanks.
That's good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And
Actually, I have to say, if somebody knows the song, I forgot one part in the solo. When
yeah, probably have been improvising a little bit, right?
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And when I was playing, I said, "Oh shit, that was not it like it is supposed to be."
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, I was thinking, I was rehearsing the song before playing that tonight, and I was like, man, when I don't know the stuff like by heart, sometimes you just
yeah,
forget some stuff, and you just need to,
yeah.
adjust it,
Absolutely.
and improvise and stuff.
Yeah, and I
But
have to say,
still,
yeah, and I've been very busy with work and teaching and a lot of stuff,
but
and I
at the end of the day, it's not necessarily a bad thing because sometimes from those kind of things you get some different ideas. Maybe
yeah,
like
absolutely, yeah,
sometimes I write the songs, and
yeah,
then maybe
yeah.
2 years after that, the song is going to be a little bit different, and maybe
Yeah,
better. That's
yeah, I noticed this, especially for the song of my solo album. Song kind of grows up and take, a different direction. The more you play them live, the more you do gigs, and the more you play them, and the more you change it, basically. And unless
and
you, yeah,
we have a couple of questions. Okay, there is Antoine Mictarian,
yeah,
French friend, and that's on. I think it's on YouTube. The question,
yeah.
and he said he watched your videos. He said thank you very much for this live to the both of us,
Oh, thank you
and
so much.
he
Thanks.
really likes your videos and compositions, and he has a question, which is he has been checking you out, and he's asking how did you get this is going to be probably a funny story. How did you get the gig with the singer you're working with? And she's called Chiara, something like that,
Yeah,
if I remember
Chiara
correctly. Yeah,
Gagliardo.
I think it's
Yeah,
Chiara, right?
yeah. I've been working with her probably by last year or something. I
Yeah,
June.
I have a question. Is
Yeah.
Chiara the same singer that was singing in your previous band many years ago, or not?
No.
No.
That was Natalie, and this
Okay,
is
that
a
was another female singer. Okay,
different
got it.
story.
Thanks.
And yeah, and probably he's. What is the name of this
Antoine.
Antoine? Okay, Antoine, thank you so much, Antoine, for the question. And well, Antoine, and I started last year working with Chiara, playing with Chiara, and the first gig we made together was in June 2019, and it was in a stadium in front of 9,000 people, something very huge in Milan, in Italy.
Okay.
And
San
yeah,
Siro?
no, it was a smaller stadium and
So
called
probably Inter Stadium, no?
Arena
I
Civica.
don't know.
Arena Civica. What
Okay.
is the name? It's not a soccer stadium.
Okay.
It's more like athletics and Olympics stuff
Okay.
stadium. And yeah, but it was huge. And I also played bass for her for the first time in my life.
In the studio or live?
No, in that stage that night, on stage that night.
Ah, okay,
So
cool.
the first time I played bass in front of somebody was in front of thousands of people, and it was really funny, I have to say.
But
And
I I don't recall you have a bass in the studio. Do you have
I
it?
don't. That is
Yeah,
why.
that's
Yeah.
because I do have a couple of basses. I don't like playing basses,
No,
bass,
I really
but
like.
I have to do it because I have to demo stuff and record and stuff like that. But I remember you didn't have a bass.
I
Usually, guitar players, they have a bass, a spare bass in the
Yeah,
studio,
and
and they
this
do
is
those.
really because I love bass so much. I really like.
I love to listen to bass, not to play
I love the bass in general, and I really like to play bass, and I like groove, and I like be in the rhythm section as well. and nobody knows this. And but you know the her Chiara's management called me and asked me for, and I really thanks a lot to them because I really this is something I really wanted to do, to work with her. I was already following and observing her career, and I always said, "Man, I like this singer. I like her." And I
Is she a pop singer in Italy?
yeah. It's a major pop singer. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I moved out many years
yeah,
ago,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
was
yeah.
not really.
Yeah, he is. She is. Sorry, she. She is an X Factor winner,
Okay.
and he he participated to Festival di Sanremo 3 times.
Yeah, which
Which
is the main festival in Italy, like
his main pop
Eurovision song. What is the name of the shit? The Eurovision
Eurovision
Song
song.
Contest in Italy. It's called
Yeah, something like so something very very big in Italy, and yeah, and this is how I started playing for her with her, and I have to say she's a super nice person, and she is extremely talented, and I really like to work with her and play her music. And actually, we did together a show in Milan a couple of weeks ago, probably in late September this year, and it was my first real gig in this year because of the COVID, and yeah, there were and we had fun. It was really really a good gig for me, and
But during the gig, did you have like, because now the new trend with the kind of a COVID thing is that you play two gigs, like one and then you have a break, and then you play another gig. Was it like
no,
this, or
this
was it
was
just one?
just we
Yeah,
played.
probably there was a lot of space and.
Yeah. It was a pretty big stage, and not the biggest stage, but enough big to, to allow us to social distancing
Yeah, but
together.
anyways, it was outside, right?
Yeah, it was outside and it was
Yeah,
fucking
so
cold.
yeah.
We were freezing, and
I mean, cold. It means it was probably like 18 degrees or something like that.
yeah, of course, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cold for me, it's
Because
summer.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
here 18 degrees, people in Norway they just take off their shirts after
yeah.
17 degrees usually. So
Yeah, I said before, in Norway I will live for
yeah.
maybe 1 week, and
Did
that's my
did you
time
did
in
you
Norway.
record the album of Chiara?
No, and I started working with
I mean,
her.
album or single. I don't know if she made any
No,
album or single.
she put out a new whole album in July, I guess, mid-July, and which is called Bonsai, which is very, very a cool album, packed of quality, good song, great singing, and it's a lot of electronic music. There's a lot of electronics in it, and I don't think there is one guitar in that album. There are no guitars.
You had to arrange the whole thing
Yeah,
from
yeah,
scratch.
absolutely.
Cool.
And anyway, we played an acoustic set that night in Milan. So we were me and her and a piano player, and yeah, it went great. We had a lot of fun. And by the way,
Which acoustic did you play? Acoustic guitar.
Ibanez
One per,
Ibanez AE 3 and 25.
yeah.
And yeah, which is a very nice guitar, and it's not a low-end guitar. This is what you were talking about before. It's not as pricey as other guitars, but it's just sound good. It feels good, very comfortable, and on stage, open air venue, I tuned the guitar just one time
But
before the show.
have you thought about using an emulator to play the acoustic guitar?
No,
Or
never,
not at
never.
all.
I
But
tried.
you will never do that.
Not until the acoustic simulator start to sound good.
But you should try the Ampere one.
Oh
Next
yeah,
time we hang out together, I'm gonna show you.
last time I tried an acoustic simulator was probably in the early 2000, so 20 years ago. It was a Boss pedal, something like orange. I don't remember the color, and yeah, it was good, but not good enough to using it in a gig.
And
for me.
what about the piezo?
I don't really like the tone of the piezo. And let me show you something interesting about this acoustic guitar, because this may something of interest in our audience. This is the guitar I used with Chiara.
It looks great.
Yeah, the A325, and it has two outputs. So one is the piezo in it,
Yeah.
and one is this.
Yes. Yeah.
So
basically it's almost like when you are miking the acoustic guitar, that you have one microphone on the directly on the fretboard and the other one on the body, so you get more like low end.
Yeah. This is the idea. Yeah, this is the idea, and this kind of stuff allows you to have a more detailed sound on stage, and you can really blend. How much of a bridge tone you want, how much from the pickup, how much from the piezo. And I also used a very cool tool from Zoom, which is the AC tool, which is a floor preamp, and especially designed for acoustic or classical guitars, for acoustic instruments. And it has a balanced output, so I went straight guitar, cable, Zoom to the PA. That's it. Very easy, very effective, and yeah, it sounded very, very good. And that's it.
And so from the Zoom was the DI box, almost like the DI box.
Also the DI box, yeah.
But so can you play a little bit the acoustic guitar just to?
Oh yeah,
sound,
yeah, sure.
If it's in tune.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, but
yeah, probably it is, because the difference between Italy and Norway is that in Italy the humidity is more constant, so the instruments are more in. Here, every time I use a guitar for 2 days, it's completely off the tune.
No. This one just stays in tune. I just tune it once in a while here and there. Sounds good. I like it.
Have you tried to mic it sometimes?
Yeah, I did, and it sounds very, very good. It sounds very, very good.
But you mix that together with
yeah. I made
because
I think I made 2 videos about this guitar for my YouTube channel, and the last one I did, I recorded using the all of the signals, 3 signals, mic in front, and the 2 signals from the pickup and from the bridge, and it sounded very, very good. Yeah.
I mean, of course, that guitar is meant to be played electrically with the cable on, I guess.
Yeah.
Usually because of course it's also kind of comfortable for the body. That's why it's a bit smaller, because when you have those openings down there, you lack a little bit of a low end, right? That's why, anyways, that's
absolutely. Yeah, but I guess
I have another one like exactly like that. It sounds great, but it lacks a little bit of a low end. That's why I have to mix.
Yeah, probably you need a Dreadnought model, the big old Martin style model to have solid low end. But that's okay, and especially on stage, and
of course,
the soundman cuts out the lowest frequency. So it's okay.
And then of course, and then if you use the mics and stuff, you have a lot of feedbacks and stuff like that. So
I used a damper here, and a D'Addario damper. D'Addario, I also endorse the D'Addario, and so I have a lot of accessories and all of this stuff besides strings and picks and cables, etc. and useful stuff for make your life easier on stage, and that's it. And
Which kind of strings do you use for let's say electric guitar?
electric guitar, the NYXL mostly, and recently I started using the XT strings. Let me show you, which is this one, the XT. Oh. And which is they last way much longer than a regular set of strings. It sounds good, and they sound good, and that's it. And by the way, I don't know if I answered to Antoine, to our friend Antoine.
Yeah. But he knows me. He knows that suddenly I jump to something else, and I get.
Yeah. Sorry, Antoine. We need to to hang out more because we talk a lot, and
I think he got it because you spoke about Chiara and stuff. So
yeah. And the question was, how did I get this job, so to speak, with her? Basically, her manager, which is a long time friend of mine, Elio, and I say hello to him, and I him.
I know
you
him.
met him. Do you remember of him?
Yeah. Several times.
Yeah. Great guy, great, professional, and he called me, and but I have to say this. This is kind of confession. I don't think I never said this to Chiara too. So this is something really new. And maybe a couple of months before I had the call from Chiara's manager, I texted him and I literally said, "Man, I want to play with this girl. I want to play with this singer. I love what are you doing. I love her songs, and I want to work with you and her." And he said, "Oh, okay, no problem." And I don't know, we have nothing planned for the moment, but okay. And as usually, this kind of things kind of disappear in the air. And with my surprise and my pleasure, the phone rang a couple of months later. "Hey man, we have a gig the next week. Are you in?" "Yes." "Great." That's it. And that's how I started.
Is the singing in Italian or in English?
Yeah, he sings in Italian for 99% of the songs, and there is a couple of songs in the set list. We played "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" cover song.
Oh, okay.
It's a very famous song, and there is a song she and Mika did together. Do you remember Mika? And he's a famous singer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and he's currently now an X Factor judge, and he's very, very famous in Italy. And they did a song together, and this song is in the set list, and this song is in English. So for the moment, we have two songs in English. The rest of the set list is in Italian. And
are you planning other gigs anytime
with her? I hope so. We don't know.
I mean, not you, but is.
Yeah, we really hope so. We really hope so. But in Italy, it's very difficult to plan stuff, to plan a real professional tour in this moment because of the COVID and because of the the restrictions. And you are Italian, you know how it works here. And I mean, the laws changes every day. And
I mean, now it's also particular a really strange time. So it's
it's really strange.
I guess it's really chaotic and I think actually you guys have been lucky being able to play that gig because it was almost at the. I mean, now probably wouldn't be possible because all the numbers are already.
Yeah, the numbers are increasing. Yeah, and
the jumping up.
Yeah, and I don't know what is going to happen. We have some very, very interesting plans with Chiara. but for the moment, I can't speak about this, and I
Sure.
can't say really nothing about this because of the situation. There's nothing, you can take nothing for sure in this moment.
But any plans of live streaming or those kind of things on the
I
internet?
don't know if she's planning something like this. This really, I don't know about the live streaming thing.
I
Maybe.
mean, I know I noticed that a lot of people do that, but a lot of other people don't do it. I mean, a lot of famous people don't do it, but a lot of famous people do it. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to
she
understand
actually,
those who do that, why they do it, and those who don't do it, why they don't do it. I still don't
yeah,
get
she
the answer.
actually, she's very active on Instagram and on the social medias,
Yeah,
and usually, and during the lockdown, I remember during the lockdown, April and March and April, she did a lot of directs, Instagram directs, and yeah, but I don't know if she's planning a real show, real
yeah.
shows.
I mean, the thing is also that, anyways, you don't necessarily need to play live music, because
Yeah,
nowadays, anyways, your presence on the internet, if you have like if you're really active on Instagram, YouTube, and those kind of like for me, it took a little while before I was starting to do those live streaming because I was anyways thinking like most of the times I do a lot of a lot of videos on YouTube, so I don't really kind of need to do a lot of live streamings and stuff like that, because I have seen a lot of people who play a lot live that suddenly didn't have any the chance to do that, and they started to do a lot of stuff on the internet, and I kept doing what I was doing for a little while, because anyways I had the video every week. I was really active on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, and stuff like that. And
yeah.
then, of course, I was like, okay, let's try to do those live streaming. I play a little
Yeah, yeah, but I
music with
enjoying.
a lot of friends, and
This is probably my tonight. This is my third live streaming in my life, so I'm very new with this kind of stuff. But I really enjoying this new way of doing videos, and
yeah.
yeah, it's very
I
open.
mean, I mean, this year NAM is not gonna happen. So of course we need to make it happen in a different way, right? So that we will hanging out a lot during the winter,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we usually do that at NAM. We go to it with all the friends, from all around the world. We play music together. We speak a lot of different stuff. So we are gonna do that anyways, like
Yeah,
we're doing near you tonight.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, and what about you? Let's talk about you. What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I tend to forget what I'm doing. So when people ask me, "What are you doing?" I can just tell you that I'm doing what I always did. I'm playing a lot of music, writing a lot of music, composing, and of course, as you know, and as you also do, I do a lot of teaching, which is
Yeah.
basically my main job. And I'm actually lucky. We are lucky because
Oh yeah,
when everything suddenly closed, we still had a job,
yeah,
comparing to a lot of people who were just playing live, which is great anyways, but they didn't have a backup plan,
yeah,
to so so for me, and I guess for you, there was actually, I mean, the thing is, of course, we love going playing out, and we cannot do that now, and it's something that we are missing. But I mean, in the work environment, nothing really kind of changed, because I still have a lot of students. I have a,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
We've been lucky.
I mean,
Yeah,
I I
yeah, we
don't
do.
call it day. I don't call it day job, because it's really flexible comparing to a day job, and I still playing the guitar every day. So, and I'm composing a lot of music in the studio, and I'm releasing some singles every once in a while, every 3 4 weeks. I did 4 singles. One was out this week on Monday, and it was the song that I played in the beginning, which is a completely new song. Those songs are, even if they are kind of good produced, they are still at the demo stage. I'm making all this material, and I'm doing demos for companies. Let's say I have to demonstrate an amp.
And
I like to I like to write songs when I do that. I don't really like to. I mean, I should speak more. I should do more tutorial and stuff like this. But as you know, I teach the whole week, so in the weekend comes the time that I just want to play. That's it. So I
yeah,
write the song, I
yeah.
produce
No,
the song,
it's something. Yeah, it's a
and I
good point
play
of
a
view.
video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. for my point of view, I like talking a lot. I talk to any living thing I encounter, and it's very. I really enjoy to talk in front of the camera and make creating videos and demos and tutorials and teaching online and all of this stuff. And yeah, and also in my way of teaching, I talk a lot, and I don't know if it's the same for you,
Yeah,
but
I do that. But when I'm composing, or I mean, of course, when I'm composing, I'm not speaking at all. I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to do.
Really weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes I do. I might get really irritated because when I compose, it's really important that everything works correctly, right? Because you have the idea, and the idea has to go on the spot. If it doesn't go because the computer crash, or I don't know, the cable goes under the chair. I mean, I'm really relaxed, but I can just freak out, and so I start swearing a little bit sometimes. So I might get really annoyed and then lose like the magic moment in a way. But
yeah,
otherwise, yeah, I kind of tend to speak sometimes, maybe too much during the lesson. I take too many breaks sometimes. I think it's in part it's part of the job, right? It's not just about like playing and showing and stuff like that. It's about also speaking with the students and
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
Sometimes
transmit,
yeah,
kind of giving a part of your experience in a way, like
yeah. This is the point for me, and I really, for me, we are teachers. Let's be honest, and the quality of the lessons depends on the on you. You are the teacher, so you are supposed to you're the guy who knows the shit. Yeah, and
kind of,
kind of.
yeah.
But the person which is in front of you and really makes the difference, at least for me. And because I really try to be as more effective for the single person I have in front of me. And for somebody, talking too much is a distraction, so I don't talk that much. For somebody else, it's a very good way of make
Sharing
them
the experience, probably.
sharing the experience. Yeah, and because at least this is my personal opinion, but if you go to one teacher, if a guy, a kid, takes lesson from you or from me, and he asks us, I don't know, the alternate picking, we basically explain the same stuff. The alternate picking, it is what it is. But the difference is our experience. You can
Yeah.
tell him stories about your experience, your stuff that happened on the stage to you, or your touring experience, or I can give to him my personal experience, my different point of view. And this is the value of a teacher for me, not the information per se, because there is Google. Google knows a lot of
Yeah,
stuff. And
Frank Zappa used to say, "Information is not knowledge,"
oh,
which
really? I
makes
didn't
sense.
know this.
Yeah, yeah, which makes perfect sense, right? A
Yeah,
lot of
it's
people, they get information, they think they know, but they don't know shit, because
no,
information
no,
is
you
not
don't know.
knowledge.
You know nothing. I
It
mean,
it can turn out into knowledge, but with experience,
yeah, yeah, but you have to work hard for turning informations into knowledge.
into
You
knowledge.
really
Yeah,
have to to work your
yeah.
ass
He was
out.
a wise man. He was a wise man.
Oh, totally, 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 absolutely. And yo, what about? I know you are kind of started a guitar company. Do you want to talk about a little bit of this?
Well, I didn't really start a guitar company, but I'm doing. It might be one of the future plans. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will be a future
Yeah,
plan
but there
because,
are there are prototypes. There are something you
yeah,
can show us.
first I'm learning as I go, and the second thing is I'm doing step by step, and it's not the priority for me right now. But still, the priority was to have is to have an instrument that more or less it reflects my my overview on the type of gear that I have, and I worked for with different companies during the last, or now actually 12 years, because in the beginning I was a PV artist. So,
Yeah.
and I was blessed because, and I'm still blessed nowadays. Now I work with Randall, but at the beginning I worked with PV.
Oh, really?
And
Are you a Randall artist at the moment?
yeah,
Now, wow,
since,
that's
yeah, but
cool.
since
Wow,
it's 4 years now.
yeah. I didn't remember this. I don't know why. It's probably I forgot. It's okay.
And when I worked with PV, I used a couple of PV guitars.
Yeah,
And then I have been endorsed with Legator, and I have been working with them for probably 3.5 years. And then I
yeah.
decided I wanted to do something on my own. And I decided to start designing a couple of guitars that I had in mind. And we worked. I started to work with the Chinese company. I mean, the thing how did it start? It was that I have been touring China for 3 times, right? The
Oh,
first time was a completely new thing, and it was 2017, and I was there at the Music China festival,
yeah.
and then I did a couple of gigs around. The second year was 2018, and then basically Hoton and Valeton, which is the division of Hoton, they organized a tour of 3.5 weeks for me,
A
which
big one.
was yeah, it was the best tour I have done in my entire career. It was like
Wow.
not
Yeah,
even like a
weeks
not
and a
even
half.
like a
Yeah, that's a big time tour. Wow.
yeah, but it was completely insane. I mean, it was way more than I could actually expect in my life. Like they did a great job promotionally wise. So all the gigs, we can call it gigs, because I basically played some concerts and some
Yeah.
clinics. And the concert, I didn't have a band, so everything I did, I did that on the backing tracks, But it was all the gigs, they were sold out. It was always full of people, and it
Wow.
was a great feeling. And I got in touch with this company, which is called Clevin Guitars, and they wanted to do a 7 string for me. And they basically did. I mean, we did a guitar together, which was just a present from them to me. That
Yeah.
was the thing. And it might be that in the future we could have worked together, doing something more specific to be sold. And but right after that, that company quit. They started to have some economical issues, I guess, and they didn't work. Were not on the business anymore. And in the meanwhile, I have been working on a project of a 8 string guitar,
Yeah.
and I had this project. I didn't know really what to do with that, but I had some friends around, especially in China, because there are a lot of manufacturers, and for some reasons, I have really good relationship with Chinese people. I really love the feeling there, and the way of living of Chinese people. They're really nice, and I have been treated always great there. And there was this company which is called Sunsmile Guitars, and they do guitars for also Western companies.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
especially for Western companies, it's more like a manufacturer comparing to a
Yeah.
guitar company. And I just sent the idea, and they were like, "Okay, let's try to work together. Let's do it, and we see how it goes." And we did the first prototype, which was introduced in for the first time in Shanghai in last year, basically 2019. I guess already during the COVID stuff. We were all
Good. It's a great
completely
timing.
completely
Yeah.
ignoring what was happening, but it was great. I mean, it was my probably the best Music China message that I did. And it was that prototype that I'm gonna get now. Then
Yeah.
we did another one, and I'm gonna show the new one. So the first one was the one I'm taking now. Just one sec.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, I want to say hello to a couple of people and want to Gianluca, ciao, hi, Kent, very nice, Davide and Joel Gerber, hi Joel. Joel is a student of mine and he's from Florida. I don't remember the city, but it's not Miami. Am I right? And yeah, and there is Massimo. Ciao. Paolo Bello, Ibanez stupenda. Thanks, Paolo. Yeah, which this is really super cool guitar, and I love it. And yeah, it's my main guitar. And what can I say? When you play every day for months an instrument, it kind of become kind of an extension of yourself. And this is
you become the instrument.
yeah, yeah. I wish I become yeah.
And
Sometimes I become the instrument. Sometimes I don't. Yeah.
yeah, but
So,
but when you become the instrument is a magic moment. It's this
yeah, it's
time.
perfect. Yeah, it's the best thing ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And anyways, I got it. It's this is the first prototype.
Yeah,
And you tried that.
yeah. I
And
remember, at
when
NEM, at the first NEM. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It was no, it was this year. It was this year.
Oh, really? This year? I
Yeah,
don't remember.
because this was produced in 2019. So it was
Okay.
it was
This
showed to the master like at NAM this year. And this was exactly like I designed that, so they did the 100% spot on job. And but it was a prototype, so we had to fix a couple of things. And for example, something that at this time was a kind of something that we had to fix was the playability, even if the sound of the guitar was great. So it was already achieved at the first attempt, and I was like the thing that I was more worried about, because when you start doing an instrument and it's the first instrument you do, you're like, okay, is this guitar going to sound good? Because I will try, but until you don't get it, you have no idea. There are a lot
absolutely.
of stuff that need to go in the right direction in order to get that result. So that was achieved. We had a couple of issues with the playability. Of
Yeah.
course, I mean, now I can play it with no problem because I got used. But the point is that, especially guitar players, they are really picky with the instrument, especially not just
That's
with
me.
the
That's me.
sound, but with
Totally.
the playability. And of course, the sound might reflect a little bit of playability problems sometimes. So so we decide, okay, this is a Les Paul kind of guitar. So of course, Les Paul is not exactly the easiest guitar to play. Even if I am a Les Paul guy and I'm used to that. And I didn't think about that. But the thing is that, of course, this part, the critical part of the Les Paul is this part down here, because it starts to get really kind of thick, and it's really difficult to access
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah, yeah. It's not that
as
comfortable. Yeah,
and at the same time, I didn't consider that, of course, the fret, not the fretboard, but the neck would be too big, because the Les
yeah,
Paul is known to be a big fretboard. So we thought about, okay, those things need to be fixed together with the body, can be a little bit more smooth and a little bit more ergonomic.
yeah,
And so we decided to change the original project in something which looks exactly the same, but technically is a bit different. And this
different.
is the
Yeah,
other guitar that I'm gonna get now. I just need 1 second because I have the headset.
yeah, 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 yeah. And let me take. Let me use this kind of Ives figure. Hi, hi, Ives. I don't know if I am saying correctly your name, but welcome. And where are you from, Ives? Ives, it's a kind of French name or something. I don't know. Maybe you're from Milan. I don't know.
So we did
Yeah,
this other prototype, which looks exactly the same, I guess, right?
yeah.
And
Red is a little bit darker in this one,
yeah,
or
it came different, which I'm not really. I mean, it's better. It's even better, this one, I think.
yeah,
But
look
I
better.
honestly, I didn't really plan that, but it's better, so I keep it, right? So
Yeah.
and so the body is a bit more smooth, as you can see here,
Okay.
a little bit more ergonomic. The body is small, and it's good for me because I'm not, of course, a big man. And the neck is a bit thinner, but the cool stuff is that here is way smoother,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
you
it's
did
yeah.
kind
So
of
it's yeah. So in a way, it's almost like, because before to be independent, I was a legator guy, and legator, they did a lot of stuff like this because it's really important, especially for the string guitar, to be able
yeah,
to
yeah. The neck joint is really, really important. This is a
yeah,
crucial. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
especially when you go up to the A string, if you want to play something down here,
Oh
you need
yeah.
to be able to
Do
access
you
that.
really play stuff in that place of the
Well,
fretboard?
usually I do it in tapping, but still, I don't want to have the less limitations I have because I practice anyways down here.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't usually don't, but it might be that one day I have to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why
Someday
I
you may have need of it, of the
that's why
20,
I practice down here because I'm like
the
one day I
eight.
will have to do it. Sorry?
No, no. I was telling. Someday you will wake up and you will absolutely need of your 26th fret on the eighth strings. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
absolutely.
And yeah, then we did the last four frets scalloped here
Yeah.
in order to
Oh,
grab the note.
like the jam. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because still, I'm still also an Ibanez guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's a
That's
cool
why
feeling.
I try to do something in between a Shredder guitar and the
Yeah.
classic thing.
And
Because
have you ever
I like,
tried a completely scalloped guitar all over the fretboard?
yeah, I did. I did. I did try the Malmsteen, the
Oh
Fender
yeah.
Malmsteen.
How was it?
It fit perfect. It was like
Oh,
actually
perfectly.
my guitar.
Oh
Yeah, it
yeah.
was my guitar. And then I never fall through. But when I tried it, the guy in front of me who owned the guitar, really good guitar player, I look at him and I was like, man, this feel like I have been playing this forever. It's so
Wow.
strange. But then I don't really think too much about guitars. I think more about music, so I just forgot that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
one day, and I'm not a Fender guy, so I didn't really think about that. But yeah, that might be a good idea for something, uh, something that I can do later on. But still, on an eight-string guitar, I'm not sure how it would turn out on the rhythm.
I don't know. Never saw an eight
Yeah,
string with a scalloped
yeah,
fretboard.
you know what I mean. When you play down here, you have to be really. If you have a scallop, it might be kind of, especially on the metal rhythms, it'll be
Yeah.
a bit complicated, like intonation wise, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably. I don't know. Never tried.
And another thing that we did on this guitar, which was something that I really want to do, I play both standard and drop. And when I
Okay.
play drop, I do on the A string guitar. I like to drop it like E A,
Oh yeah.
E A. That's why there is a spot here
Yeah.
because I have a device which is called a hip shot extender.
Oh yeah.
In
Cool.
in order to drop on the spot down to E, the F sharp, and A, the B,
Cool.
for two reasons. One, because I like to change the tuning and playing in drop. Also because it makes actually way more sense comparing to play standard on the A string guitar because you have E A, so you have a lower octave. So
Yeah.
in a way, it's more or less like the piano that you have some lower octaves, right, with the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
key.
I tune my eight string guitar in the same way. E A.
Yeah.
And
And
so
the second thing is that honestly, the eight string guitar is my instrument. So when I have students here, I use the eight string guitar, and if I have like a guitar tuned like a six string guitar, I can show the same things with the same position, and they don't struggle with understanding exactly what I'm doing. So
yeah.
I can still use a guitar that I like, and they understand it. Some people they got used, so they don't really care. You know, the smartest usually they pick it up. I honestly, if I played the six string guitar and I had the teacher in front of me with an eight string guitar, I would just freak out. But
Yeah.
some of those are
Probably.
really some of those are really good with that. New generations, they
Yeah. Yeah. The new
are
generation
smarter.
are smarter than us, and
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
this is the way it is supposed to be, isn't it? So
So this new model was supposed to be released at Music Messe this year in Frankfurt, which was
Frankfurt.
supposed to be
Okay.
like probably my best gig ever. I had
Okay.
a
Now
lot of stuff planned.
are they doing it this year?
No,
Or, or
yeah, I'm talking about this year, like 2019, was supposed to be March.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
And I got the call during my 40th birthday. It was like a dream come true. They told me whatever I had to do, and it was great. And I was like, I don't really believe I'm gonna do that. But then suddenly, COVID just kicked in, and everything just went to shit.
Yeah.
So now we stopped for a little while. There is this
Yeah. A lot of
prototype.
things have been stopped, and yeah, and I would have toured a lot this year if COVID wasn't there.
Yeah, I
A
mean
lot,
it's
way more
this.
than the previous years, way more. And I recently joined a new band called the Inno, and which is a you know Gothic prog heavy metal band and low tunings. It's very inspired by Catatonia and Porcupine Tree and The Gathering, but heavier, way heavier. Okay, and there is our friend Marco Mastrobuono Cigno on bass, and it's a great band, and they asked me to join them in probably 10 minutes before the lockdown or something. And it was really late February or early March or something. And we did, speaking about the streaming concerts, we did probably, we are the first metal band in Italy, and which gave a real streaming concert this July.
I'm not sure I saw the concert, but I saw that you did that. You posted.
Yeah.
On
And,
Instagram.
I really love this band, and of course Marco is a longtime friend, and we get along perfectly.
Well, that's basically the reason why me and you we know each other.
Yeah, basically, yeah, absolutely. And we had a lot of plans, and for touring and doing a lot of gigs in a lot of different countries, big stuff, and everything for the moment is freezed. That's it. And I really hope things will solve, and all of us start to traveling again. I miss a lot the travel aspect of my life as a musician. I really like to travel.
We have a great question.
Please.
This is the best question I got. Okay.
Okay.
Still Filippo.
Yeah.
It's the wisest question.
Yeah.
What's the advice you guys would give to your younger selves, guitar-wise?
Oh shit! Big question. Yeah, thanks, Filippo. And probably, if I had a travel machine, a time travel machine or something, I will say to a younger me, and practice more, but have fun more, and enjoy the music, enjoy the friendship with your bandmates more. And not that I didn't do it, but yeah, if I would say this, and I've been lucky because I have been, I played with a lot of different bands, and sometimes they were, crappy situations, but a lot of other times they were really good people. And like Marco, like you, we met from almost 20 years, and we still hang together. We still hang out. And but the main advice I would give to a young me is work your ass on your personality as a musician. Don't learn other people's licks and ideas. Be yourself as much as possible, and develop your own personality, your own sound, and your uniqueness. This is
which is. I mean, the thing is that it's so obvious, right? I mean, if you think about that now, you're like, it's obvious. You are yourself, so you're supposed.
Yeah, it's obvious now. It's obvious now.
But the point is that we live in a society. We live in a society which is kind of brainwashing you since you're a kid, because you need to learn to do things in a proper way. And the proper way is
but can I say something which maybe I don't want to piss off anybody, but I will, and I can't help it. but I think that this is how they teach us things in Italy.
Yeah,
In other
yeah,
countries,
absolutely.
do you agree with me?
Yeah,
In other countries, especially if we're talking about arts and music, and everybody is do your thing, be yourself, and don't
no,
copy some nobody, done, and just work on your ideas. And not in Italy. In Italy is, and I felt I was part of the problem in one in in one piece of my career, and because I was learning and pick myself at 17 years old. I played exactly like John Petrucci, exactly. And when I was from 19 to 22, 23, I played exactly like Steve Vai. And then, and there was, I played, I got several, phases of playing like someone else. And because, in Italy, if you can do something, you can do something like exactly like somebody which is clearly, a top class player, you are good as him. But that's not true. That's that's the problem.
yeah.
That's absolutely
You're just a bad copy in a way. I mean,
yeah, a bad copy. And
yeah, we were talking yesterday about that. Yes.
yeah, and I realized then one day I realized shit, fuck all of this. I don't give a fuck about this stuff. I want to be myself. And this is and suddenly I started changing everything in my probably my entire life actually, but in my playing, in how I approach to the guitar, to the amps, pedals, and I started trying to create my own signature sound and way of playing. And let me say, I feel I scratched the surface of this. I still
Actually,
have to grow. Yeah,
Eric Mayer is here, and
yeah, really.
and me and him, we were talking about exactly the
Yeah.
same thing you were saying now yesterday, like that you need to be
Really,
yourself. You don't need to, yeah. So that's crazy because I was like, when I told you like 1 minute ago, I told you we were talking about that yesterday, and now Eric showed up, and me and Eric were just
great.
talking about
Hi,
that.
Eric. Hi, my man.
So and yeah, I mean, for me it was the same thing, but the thing is that I never really managed to be anybody else than me because I always been like this kind of dickhead guy who always wanted to do the things that he wanted to do. That's
Yeah,
why one of the reasons why I moved out from Italy is it was also this one. I mean, I of course, like you say, you don't want to piss anybody. I don't want to piss anybody either. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. Let's say there is one episode I was thinking about today, which was I always wanted to experiment and do my own things, right? And I
yeah.
remember I had to do an exam at school, music school, and I remember I lost a couple of evaluation points because I had to play bossa nova rhythm, and I don't know why during the exam I thought about it was a good idea to play that with the chorus on, the chorus, the pedals,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
know.
of course. Yeah.
And for me, it was like, okay, it's still a bossa nova thing. It's just a bossa nova with the chorus, and I believe that they probably
Yeah, and maybe you.
somebody somebody did that anyways. I guess already because everything has been done,
Yeah,
and
and
it was
let me
like
let me.
it was the wrongest thing ever, and I fucked up the whole exam for that shit.
Yeah, because
That's
you kind
Italy.
of you betrayed the tradition of.
Exactly. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I was like, okay. And I think about that today, and I just laugh because I'm like, yeah, I'm a dickhead, and I do stuff like I think they are supposed to be, and people
yeah,
don't
you
like
are a
it. I
dickhead,
like it. It's fine.
or maybe the guy at the other side of the desk was a dickhead.
I don't know. I don't know. But we all grow up like we grew up, and we have
Yeah,
different
yeah,
ideas.
of course.
But Italy is kind of traditional. That's why actually one of the things I wanted to ask you. I know that you have been attending the conservatory in Italy.
Yeah,
long time ago,
yeah,
right?
classical
And you,
guitar. Yeah,
yeah, and you got the degree. Was
yeah.
5 years or 10 years? Was a
And
bachelor or master?
I got the fifth degree in classical guitar, and I also have the music theory degree. And I got these two degrees at the conservatory. But as you were telling before, and Italy is a very conservative country. Yeah, it's like square the people. You have to be in this way, and if you are, but I don't know. And I think there's a reason why, and this is the reason. This is why I firmly believe in the new generations, and
They
there's
are
a reason
more open-minded,
they are more open-minded than
way more open-minded.
yeah. And the guys who really you know change things in music are no one of them is from Italy, and I guess there's a reason for this. Yeah. And
Yeah, that's why I moved to Norway, because I want to change the music.
yeah, you did a great move. Yeah, and so I fucked up. Why I'm still here? Yeah, and doing the wrong thing. Yeah, and oh, there's a friend of mine, Terry. Hi, Terry. Hi, how you doing, my man? Terry Hume is one of the nicest guys I ever met at the NAMM show, and he works for Yamaha at the piano division, I guess. And it's nice to have you here, Terry. And yeah, it's crazy. And we met at at the cafe at the left of the conversion center.
The one in the bottom of the room, on the left side. The
No,
last
no,
one.
outside. In what is the name? Catella Avenue is the main street outside the
You mean,
conversion.
okay? You mean the 7-Eleven?
No, it wasn't a 7-Eleven. I don't know. It was there. I don't remember the name because this year was closed, and I was so disappointed because I had the best breakfast in my life in that place. And yeah, and I met Terry, and because there was this guy near to me, and there was the waitress gave me syrup maple, and I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how to use it, and I said, "Can you tell me what I'm supposed to do with this kind of stuff?" But have you noticed that a lot of Mexican people doesn't speak English that much? In
Yeah, old people don't do that.
yeah, old people.
Younger
Yeah,
people.
yeah, she was a very grown-up woman, and there was this guy beside me, and said, "No problem, I'm Canadian. I will explain to you." And that's Terry, which is
But
watching.
I mean, they probably understand better Italian than English. If you were speaking Italian, they would probably understand that.
Oh, really? The
Yeah,
Mexican waiters. Oh,
of
yeah.
course. I mean, it's Spanish and Italian.
Yeah, but you imagine that was my first time at NAM, my first time in US, and probably my first breakfast in US. So I was kind of, really outside of my comfort zone. So I didn't know that, the elders, Mexican people, they don't speak English. It was kind of shocking for me. Yeah.
Some people. Anyways, there is Eric who is asking, where can I go to get guitar lessons from the both of you?
Where?
And I wrote at the music at the Noise Factory.
Oh, sorry, the Noise Factory. Sorry, I guess I didn't understand. Eric, our Eric.
Yeah,
Eric,
our Eric. He was
okay.
kidding us, and he was
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Where can I go get?"
Yeah, in
I
your
wrote the Noise
facility
Factory.
in Texas, the Noise Factory. And for you guys who are watching this stream, go check.
Yeah, we had a live stream, me and Eric, like 1 month ago, I think.
Oh,
And it went kind of good. We had a lot of
Eric is another super cool person I met at NAM. You introduced us, And yeah, I don't want to spoil, but we are all of us are about to do something cool together.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah. I
Good
don't
stuff.
want
I do so many things. I do so many things with Eric that I always have to wonder which one. I understand what you're talking about, but probably I'm not sure we can speak about that. But we are we are cooking something together.
yeah, we're
All
pulling
of
something.
us.
Yeah.
And the cool stuff is that the circle of people is we all know each other for some reasons. Me, you, Gianluca, Eric,
Oh yeah.
and I just got a lot of messages from Eric. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and
Okay. Okay.
so we were talking about before this digression about the
Oh,
Navigator.
the best, the advice you will give to a young
Right,
yourself.
right.
Okay, Filippo.
I mean,
Filippo.
in my case, it would be just regular advice, like a general advice would be relax. Everything is all right, probably, and that's it. But and of course, I mean, practice is never enough.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I get.
I did a lot of practice when I was in music college, and I think it was a good practice. And then I have been touring for a little while, and I didn't practice so much like I was supposed to do it. And but still, it's really important to have experience. So if you, it's like we talked about before, information is not knowledge, right? You can practice in your bedroom how much you want, but if you don't go out and play music, you're not gonna use these
And yeah.
informations
And,
to
this is
become knowledge, right?
and sometimes practice. It's as a teacher. Now I'm talking like fucking old guy, and but really practice and probably tell me if you agree with me. It's something that can work sometimes can work against you if you don't treat it in the proper way. If you, I had students who over practiced, and when I say over practiced, I mean they were playing maybe this for 2 hours every day, and but they didn't were able to play a riff or a song, a real song, and so we need. We are teachers too, so we have to say this: a student, any player needs balance. You need real
Yeah.
music, and you need exercises. But the exercises, it's not enough. It's
No, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that everything
yeah,
is supposed to be music,
yeah,
and the exercise is many times is not music. It's just
yeah,
a tool that you need to develop in order to express the music.
yeah.
But if you just develop the tool and you don't express the music, you don't really learn anything that makes the difference music-wise, right? So,
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah,
so and then and there are a lot of stuff, especially on the guitar, which are really important to learn. And how to learn those things is just the experience. If you don't play live, if you don't record, if you don't play videos, if you don't
yeah.
improvise, you will never learn it. There is vibrato things, there is bending, there is
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
how to play a rhythm in time, how to make a rhythm producing groove, and all those things you don't learn if you just play scales for
No, no,
for
no, no.
8 hours a day, which is a great thing. I still practice scales because I need to keep my
Yeah,
feet
me too, me
when
too.
I'm
But I tried to practice in a musical way. Maybe 15 years ago, I will practice. I will go to something like this. Yeah, I would never do this on stage. Never in my life.
yeah, of course, it's
You know
that
what I mean?
because on stage you want to focus on the music, not
Yeah,
on
and so I
not
instead,
on the guitar technique.
yeah, instead of this, I really, this is part of the answer to Filippo, and then what advice you will give to a young yourself, and practice in a more musical way instead of playing it all the time. Let's try to, I don't know, make music out of a scale, which is something completely different, and maybe you can also,
Play outside of the box.
yeah, of course, like I don't know, I played melody, but I used vibrato and bendings and
Yeah,
timing.
and also there are other kind of technique that you need to learn, like you did now, slides.
Oh yeah, of
You
course.
know, I mean,
Yeah,
some
and,
people they just play mechanically like a machine, but they don't
yeah,
really. There are other things that you need to learn technically wise that you need way more comparing to how fast you play that scale. Because
yeah, yeah,
Guitar Pro can play that scale 1,000 times faster than you, but it cannot really express
yeah,
the feeling
yeah,
like we
exactly.
do. Of course, that's an obvious thing that I'm saying, but a lot of people overview that.
It's not that obvious because I say this probably 100 times a year, so it's not that obvious. And yeah, and that's it. And I mean, practice should develop in the player an instinct for music, for performing, and not
Yeah,
for the concept per se. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, of course. At the same time, it's always good to have some kind of balance. Still do a little bit of technique because there are a lot of guitar players up there who are really, really good and and they always complain about, oh, I wish I was practicing less scale when I was younger, when I was a kid and stuff. But at the same time, I'm not even sure that they would be up there if they haven't practiced scales and stuff like that. Technique is still something that is important, especially if you play something like progressive rock, instrumental
Yeah,
guitar-based music. I mean, you need those technical tools in order to express those complex ideas that you have in your mind.
yeah.
Otherwise, of course, I mean, I love Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, of course, but it's
Me
really
too.
simple
Absolutely.
music.
For
He
me,
ha- he ha- he had all the tools that he needed to express that kind of music. But if you want to
yeah,
play like progressive metal and you want to experiment a little bit more on strange rhythms or strange harmonies and melodies and string skipping and stuff like that, you
yeah,
need to
absolutely.
have a little bit of technique. I usually don't over practice. Keep I tend to keep to be basic. I usually play like scales during the week. For some hours. I have no idea. Not some hours every day, but I make sure
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I still can play the music that I'm supposed to play when I go on stage. No, and I don't need more than that because I don't need to be in a I don't know, Dream Theater cover band. I usually say that with all respect for Dream Theater because they also have like the technique that they need to express those kind of ideas.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, I think you really let your technique work for your ideas and not the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And first, I guess somebody it's better if you listen a melody in your head, you listen, you imagine a riff or something maybe extremely complex, and then you figure out how to play it.
yeah,
And instead, technique. I love technique. Let me say this before, and I teach technique all the time, and it's very, very important for me that
and
again.
sometimes many times basically you can get some musical ideas out of it
Oh
spending
yeah,
time with it.
absolutely, absolutely. But and the what I missed. The missing point is when I was younger, and I thought that technique was,
The
the
arrival point.
yeah, the arrival point exactly, exactly. And it's not the arrival point. Technique is just something you use. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. And I still love technique, and I probably play very technical stuff, but it's spontaneous stuff. And maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I was just forced myself. I was forcing myself, and I have my brain was full of shit because I thinking all the time. Oh, I have to play fast alternate picking unless I am no good. I'm not a good player if I don't play extremely fast. I don't know,
yeah.
tapping
But
around.
as we said before, I think it was kind of normal because uh, you tend to not listen to your inner voice sometimes when you are, especially when you're young. You just
yeah,
see all the people around you, what they do,
yeah,
and what they do is supposed to be the right thing to do. But it's not the same for everybody. But it's really difficult to kind of focus really on what you really think it's important for you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And plus,
Yeah, but
when
the
you're younger,
sooner
it's really
the
difficult to
sooner
really
you do,
understand what is your goal.
yeah, absolutely. The sooner the better. When it comes to realize where you're going to as a musician, and personality is the greatest skill. And you named Kurt Cobain before, which for me is a great guitar player, great songwriter. I love Nirvana.
Absolutely. I mean, and even like the solos. I mean, I listen to
Oh
Nevermind
yeah,
though sometimes,
absolutely.
and the solos that they might be, they also really good played. Actually, they could have been played by professional musicians. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
of course, he was a professional musician, but I
yeah,
mean, somebody, an academic professional musician.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what I mean. I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and wow, and so this is, and do you? Let me say this, and I realized I wasn't working on my personality as a musician, as a player, by reading a book, which I recommend to you and to all of
Okay, I'm
the
gonna
people
write it down on
here,
the spot.
which is the Purple Cow, Purple Cow
I got it. Yeah, yeah, I got it
from
from you. I
Seth
mean,
Godin.
I got.
And that book totally changed my life as a player, which is really strange to say because it's not a music book. It's not
Well,
about music
well,
at all.
you gave me that title probably like 6 years
Oh,
ago.
because 5 or 6 years ago I had the epiphany. I read that book, so the timing is correct.
Yeah,
Maybe I
and
just
honestly, now of course you came out just now with the new album, which is the Inkful
yeah,
debut album,
yeah,
which is, I mean, I can still hear, of course, that it's you playing the guitar, but the composition is really different comparing to your solo album.
absolutely, yeah,
The, do you feel that which one is reflecting more your identity as a guitar player? The new Inkful, even if it's like more
you
like a
know
band
I
thing,
want to
or the
say,
solo?
yeah, yeah, that's a good question, and the real answer, the honest answer, is the next album I am going to write is what will
Okay.
reflect me completely. And the Info album, speaking about our growth as a musician and our, consciousness about being ourselves and working on our personality. It was just my first, real attempt to write something different. I don't know. I don't know if I made it or not, but it
And
was
now
my,
you're talking about the first the solo album or the
no, no,
Inkful
no, the
album?
Info album. Yeah, and my first solo album. It was. I didn't realize those things yet. So there's something mine, totally mine, but I can hear, and let's say it, there are some Paul Gilbert here and some Lick. There is some Steve Vai there in other parts, and it's me, but it's me. It's a younger version of me. Let's say
Okay.
an immature version of me.
Yeah, yeah, but it's normal. I mean,
And yeah, that's normal. And of course, I'm still proud of that album. I am completely proud of that album because it has been the beginning and of everything for me as for my career, and I have no regrets. And it has been an incredible work at the time. Now, a few years later, I look at that album like an old photo with your friends 6 years ago, and you say maybe a little bit with a bit of nostalgic mode. You say, "Oh, look how we were young. You were different. I was different." That's it. That's how I look to my first solo album, and that's the reason why I'm currently writing another one. And
so you're writing a new album now.
one song, which is completely. different from anything I ever did. And so
The the first solo album was also a little bit heavier,
yeah,
probably comparing to
yeah,
the Ink solo
absolutely.
album,
Yeah,
but might be that also like the how do you say, the studio process was a bit different, like the recording,
yeah,
the mixing, and stuff like that.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, in the first album you had like this. The drums was probably triggered, at least the snare and
Yeah, it triggered. As, I'm sure I used the samples on the snare and kick, which
was
is
more compressed. Also, the
yeah,
guitar was more compressed and was
yeah,
more.
yeah,
There was more gain on the guitar probably also.
way more gain.
Yeah,
A
the
lot
new
of
album is more like I always feel that you're playing with the crunch now. And
yeah, yeah, yeah. I reduced my gain tone a lot, and just because I feel a better sense of connection with the guitar. I really can see that my fingers just works better if I have less gain, which is worse for a lot of other things. It's harder to play with less gain, and especially the tapping stuff or the legato stuff. It's I needed kind of to relearn again how to play using this different tone, which is something different to play. And yeah, but you work on this, and yeah,
there
because
is
it's
there is a question from Eric, which is
yeah.
what advice would the each of you give to someone getting back into playing the guitar? I mean, let's
Getting
say that you, yeah, like let's say that you play the guitar and then suddenly you decide to take a break and then you want to go back to your instrument, but you don't really know where to start from. Which kind
oh,
of suggestion
I,
would you do?
wow, that's a big one. And
Yeah, also because there is one thing which is important. I said
yeah,
it before. It's especially if you are young, it's something. If you are not young anymore, I mean, you don't necessarily need to be old, but your muscles and tendons they start to behave in a completely different way. I guess, right? So if you go back to the guitar, you don't really. I don't think you can think that you can start from where you interrupted. Because I
mm,
mean, something is gonna happen there in the muscles. You need to kind of
yeah,
build
but
up a little bit
yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah, of course, but
And I think honestly that a little bit more of a regular general physical activity would be a good thing to do in order
yeah,
to prepare to this because playing the guitar, I mean, you tend to sit down or to stand up, and we are standing up anyways, you have the weight of the guitar up here. We are
yeah.
sitting down is not exactly the good thing to do for your back.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's a
and
bit
sitting
the
down.
guitar is an extremely physical instrument.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me say this: that sitting down is one of the worst things you can do for your back. It's not a good thing. And
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, and I recommend to my students, and I do the same. When I practice, I stand up
Yeah,
always.
I mean, the thing is, it's really difficult, especially for the students to understand that. But I always tell them because I actually had that problem. I had a lot of problems with my back several years ago, and
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
started to
I remember.
exercise a lot, and now I fixed that, and my back now is way better comparing to,
Yeah,
let's say, 15 years ago. But
yeah, yeah,
one of the responsible things was that I was always sitting down on the guitar, or even worse, on the computer.
yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
now I try to do at least 1 hour of physical activity to rebalance my body the other way around.
Yeah, it's very very important. Yeah. And by the way, if I had to say something to somebody to going back to the guitar, and I wouldn't go to a that physical answer, which is absolutely a great answer. I will go in a more philosophic way of thinking, and I just would say, okay, if you want to go back playing your guitar, there's something in your brain, some part of your brain that wants to do it, and just feed that thought. And I would say why you want to learn, why you want to go back. I would ask why. What is the reason? And if you, I got, how can I say this? And you have to have no expectations. This is the key for me.
Mm.
And you just enjoy, you just have to enjoy the reasons why you want to play, stick
The
to them,
process.
and enjoy. Maybe you want to learn I don't know, a simple song. Do it.
Yeah.
But when you
I
do it, just
you
enjoy.
also you also need to know. I mean, you need to figure it out what you really want to do with the instrument, because you can
Yeah,
go a lot of different ways. So you don't need to do something that you actually don't need to do, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
if you want to reconnect with the instrument, it means that there is something specific that you would like to do on the instrument. You know, something
Yeah,
that there is that so it should be something more instinctive in a way.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
something
yeah.
that is
Absolutely.
relating you to the instrument. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I would say that I don't know. One can take breaks from I don't know a few months or a few years for million reasons. So, and if you go back to the guitar, yeah, my only advice is don't expect anything. Just enjoy the moment, and because when you expect something, you kind of stressing yourself before doing the stuff. You know what I mean?
You're
And
not thinking. I mean, you're thinking about the future instead of
yeah,
enjoying the
and,
moments.
the future it's not here.
It's not
You know.
doesn't exist basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But about this, you recommend me a book about this kind of stuff. Eckhart Tolle
Yeah, Eckhart
book.
Tolle. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and it was about this kind of subject. Living in the moment, doing your
Yeah,
thing, be relaxed, and yeah, that was a very good lecture. And
yeah.
well,
I got it from a friend. I got it from a friend who just came here, and he said I ordered the book for. He probably saw that I was kind of stressed in that period. I have no idea, but he
yeah,
came here and he said I just ordered on Amazon a book from this guy which is called Eckhart Tolle, which I had no idea who he was,
yeah,
because I had nothing to do with the spiritual things and stuff like that.
yeah,
And it's in Italian, so they're gonna send it to you from Amazon, and it's in Italian, and you can read it. You know, and especially at that time, I was not exactly a reader. Like I was not. I read. I kind of read now, at least a little bit every day. And then I read that, and that honestly, that book kind of changed my life, my
yeah,
perspective on life. And the crazy stuff is that afterwards, I found out that Steve Vai, he has been reading those books. He never spoke about that, but I found out afterwards that he was reading the same books. You know, that's
yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
he's always talking about all those things, which are
I've been reading for maybe 4 or 5 years. Most of the times, those kind of books. I got plenty of those kind of books. I read a lot of stuff about spirituality and yeah. I don't want to say to use the word new age because it's not new age. You read that stuff and you know what they are about. And yeah, and a lot of those books were nothing special, but a few of them were really enlightening books. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. But I
And
mean, all the ideas and stuff are not really like real secret. I mean, they are secrets because we tend to never think about those things, but are really simple
yeah,
ideas that they make complete sense. The problem is
absolutely.
that we are used to live in this crazy society nowadays where stress is
Yeah,
the main thing, and we always think about the new stuff, and we never get enough, you know, and we always feel that we should be more recognized and have more money, and
yeah.
have better jobs and drive better cars, all those things.
Better anything. Yeah,
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I think it was really important for me to read those books and start my journey through those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm not necessarily a spiritual guy, but that kind of helped in a way to also
yeah.
understand
And
what I was.
for me, and those kind of readings changed a lot the way I play guitar. I don't know how, but
Yeah, so that's what I mean. That's what I meant.
I
Like
did.
really, like let you focus a little bit more on what is important
Yeah,
and what is not, and what is actually your real goal, and what instead it's an illusion of your real goal. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So,
it
so
help
it's
you
very,
reflecting a little bit on what
yeah,
is
yeah,
true and what is
interesting. Yeah,
something built up.
absolutely. And cos'è? Andrea, let me say hello to a couple of friends. Andrea Ravoni, ciao Andrea.
I mean,
See,
it's kind of late because it's always also midnight, but at the same point, at the same time, in the US, it's still day, so it's kind of okay. But I think next time we should organize something where we're probably maybe we are playing a little bit more, like playing, showing some stuff that we're doing, but we have some time to do that. So
oh yeah,
if you don't mind, I would go more on the specific on the guitar, and I would ask you.
yeah,
We talked about technique, which still, even if we say that there is a difference between music and music technique,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
would say, and we played a little bit of music before, so I
Yeah,
would just say, is there any technical exercise that you do in order to warm up and keep in shape, like
yeah,
your
absolutely.
chops? Like, let's
This
say,
is,
what is the most used technique by you? Is it more like I guess you play a lot of legato comparing to alternate picking, right?
and yeah, it depends on the song, but really, yeah, I have to say 50-50. And actually, in the last months, I've been practicing way a lot the alternate picking, and I don't know why. I kinda left in a corner for a few years, and
I did that recently. I know why, and you don't know that, but you remember that at NAM show I had like something on my wrist.
no,
You don't
probably
remember that I told you I hurt myself playing soccer? You don't remember
no.
that?
2 years
I
ago.
No, this year. This year
This,
in January, I played the NAM show with a broken wrist.
oh, really?
I didn't know it was broken. It was, and when I came home
Wow.
after I played the NAM show, I got the cast, to
Wow.
put yeah, and I had the cast for 5 weeks, and the only way that I had to play it was to use. I couldn't use the pick because everything was kind of blocked,
Yeah.
so I couldn't really play, and I had this cast here, so it was taking a lot of space. So I had to play with the fingers. I improved a lot the finger style, which is still not my thing, but anyways.
Yeah.
And I lost a little bit of alternate picking, and I found out after I got better, and that's why I'm practicing more alternate picking, because I need to get back in shape where I'm
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
play those things
exactly. I didn't know this, and but I don't know. For all of the reasons we discussed before, working on your personality and be yourself, and those kind of concepts. And I, even if I have tons of, here in the studio, books and and instructional videos and you name it, I got tons of them. Paul Gilbert's and Richie Cots and all of the shredders stuff. And I chose to not practice other people exercise anymore. This is a deliberate choice. So I just, when I say I practice the alternate picking, maybe I don't know, I launch a drum loop from Cubase or from my iPad, and just play using the alternate picking for a half hour or 1 hour. And I play very slowly at the beginning, and that's what I do when I practice. I do those kind of stuff. I don't know.
But do you get Do you get those exercises out from some licks that you play in your music?
No, I just play randomly notes, and in this the last couple of weeks, I've been focusing on the 2 note per string patterns, and instead of the regular, more common, I don't know, this kind of stuff.
Like two strings for sorry,
For string.
two notes for string. Yeah,
No,
like
which is something like, I don't know. Which is
so
not
like a little bit more like pentatonic scale.
Yeah, this was a pentatonic, almost a pentatonic, with a second. This kind of stuff. And I don't know, just doing this kind of stuff. And but usually, what I do when I practice is to, playing very slowly and insert some bursts, some accelerations here and there. Okay, so this is what I found works better for me. And of course, I recommend this to all of my students, but it's kind of personal. And maybe I spend I don't know, 10 minutes playing as slow as possible, like this. And then out of the blue, I relax, I take some rest, and then I start, shredding again.
So you think it's important to take breaks when you practice, like so you never practice like, let's say you have just 1 hour and you try to keep your hand on the guitar for 1 hour. You don't do it.
When I say rest, I mean it
in a musical way.
In a musical way, yeah, absolutely. Rest for me is make
like
your
like a pose, like
yeah, or exactly, like your hands rest, not taking a break and I don't know, going outside for a walk. That's too much.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Maybe I'm doing like this, something like, I don't know. And then I insert a lot of notes.
Yeah.
And
so you mean like
I'm taking a break. And so on. I just in my practice regime, there is this balance between playing a lot of notes and playing fewer notes, just longer notes. And I really learned just by with the trial and error strategy that what made improve my legato technique was playing long notes, which is kind of weird. I like to get a sustaining sound out of my hands.
Did you use any exercise to develop the bending, let's say?
And the bending, listen very carefully the notes, where are you going to, and singing the notes in your head. You have to know what are you doing before playing a bending. I mean, this is an F. Na. If I want to go to the G, na, I have to know what the G sounds.
Where the G is.
Right. If I am not sure where the G is, maybe I will go probably to something like this. Oh, where is the G? Here, no. Here, no. You have to know. And I really love play bendings. And
I mean, for me, it worked. I really, I still love nowadays Brian May of Queen, and
oh yeah,
I kind of got that idea of bending from him, but I didn't really try to find the note in a way. It was just, I don't know, in really simple for me just to understand what he was doing and go and get the, like just listening to what he was doing, and
yeah.
he used to do a lot of bendings and a lot of
Oh yeah,
harmonica
all
with
the
those
time.
bendings.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And
And
yeah, by the way, how do you practice the bendings? Because you have
well,
a very, you have a beautiful bending. I always
well,
admired.
I never, I honestly, I never, those things I never really practiced those things. I mean, there are two things that I never really do. Yeah, and it was, I never really did, and it was like the bannings and all that concern like improvisation. I mean, of course, I did a lot of improvisation, but it was more like in a band environment, live, and just like noodling around and stuff like that. But I remember when I was at the music college, was really I was never practicing that because it was something that was really in my playing. Instead, I
Yeah,
was struggling a little bit more with technique and playing a song exactly like it was written, those kind of things, like more academic. But when it came to improvising or playing bandings, it was just a really natural process. And even like vibrato is the same thing.
oh yeah,
I mean, everything that concerned like the we can call it that aesthetic of playing the guitar,
yeah,
and all the yeah, on Guitar Pro it's called effect, but I would say more like the expression more than effect.
yeah. Absolutely,
It's
absolutely. And yeah,
it, it was probably because before to learning exactly the instrument, like the technique and those things, I was already like a guitar player in a way because I learned how to play it by myself. So I didn't really. It was more like the instinct, the musicality
yeah,
that came out first, and just I didn't really know the notes that I were. I mean, of course, I knew the notes, but not
yeah,
in when I was playing that. I had to rationalize that afterwards. I'm like, okay, I'm playing these, so I'm bending half tone and I'm on C. You know,
yeah, yeah,
I knew that, but when I was playing, I didn't really know, and never really like. I learned the scales. That was probably an important thing for the bending and the vibrato. The way that I learned the scales was not like I we all play scales from the bottom to the high note. It was more like this way
I'm
because I
more
didn't know the scale. Yeah, so I
horizontal.
was
Yeah,
there was no YouTube, there was nothing, and I was listening to, let's say, Metallica, and they played some ballads and stuff like that, and I was figuring out the A minor scale. The one that I know is an A minor scale now. For
yeah,
me, it was
yeah,
just this thing that started from here, and if you think about that, most of like 90% of the times, I guess, when you're building a melody, you tend to move this way instead of this way, and I guess it's because of the way that the instrument works. It's kind of easier to make it sound a little bit more like good in a way if you play um, horizontal instead of vertical.
yeah,
And you tend, I mean, also this one is a box anyway, but you tend to move outside of the classic box that you have from the pentatonic scales or the major scales or those things.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if it makes sense, but at least that's my experience.
It
And
makes
and then I and
totally
then I
makes.
understood all those things. I understood that was the minor scale, like all in mode and all those things.
Yeah, and
Just I
you kinda, I have extracted a lot of concept, the harmonic scale, the minor harmonic scale, or the minor melodic scale, or what a pentatonic is, or what a Dorian mode is, for instance. I just extracted this concept out of songs, and
yeah
basically the first 10 years of me playing electric guitar, has been learning songs. I learned everything, anything I could learn. And so basically, I learned the minor scale from the Fade to Black opening.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I learned the A minor scale. Well, I was talking about that song.
That's in B minor,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Or
so
I learned,
okay. So I was like, fuck that solo. I'm gonna
yeah,
listen to the acoustic guitar. I mean the acoustic guitar of James Hetfield. I'm gonna improvise.
yeah. This
No, the one when he starts like A minor, C, G, and E minor again. Yeah, exactly. There was that solo.
oh yeah, yeah.
There was that stuff.
Yeah, and I learned. I don't know the first time I understood what the the free jump mode was thanks to James Hetfield again. And this is one of my favorite songs ever, ever. I
Mhm.
really love. And that's free jump, but I didn't
Yeah,
know. And
and that's a really great way to practice to do those kind of things like he used to do with the Frisian mode with wherever I'm wrong. You can have like a pedal and then improvise.
yeah,
Let's say.
absolutely.
So I still
So
do those things nowadays. It's a really
learning,
great way to compose and
yeah,
to write
yeah.
down some
Yeah,
harmonics practically.
absolutely. The first years learning other people's songs was really the basement of everything I developed later, years later. And when I, for instance, the first time I read about the Mixolydian mode, Mixolydian mode, and I said, okay, and I said, oh, it's just the summer song mode from Joe Satriani. And that's how, kind of I connected music and concept and music theory and all of this stuff. And yeah, it was.
In my case, instead, I never really learn songs from other people. I'm not. I mean, it's just the way I am. I like to do my own things all the time. But I kind of always watched the way they were playing, and I improvised my own things. That's why probably I developed that improvisation kind of thing. You know,
Yeah,
like growing up just doing those things, and when you do improvisation, you really take care of the expression that you have on the guitar, like all the bendings and the vibrato and stuff like that,
yeah,
comparing
absolutely,
to
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
no,
have some yeah, sorry.
no, please.
We have some questions. Filippo is back and he is asking, speaking about guitar players and music theory, who do you think is the most innovative modern guitarist nowadays? Or maybe you could just throw a list of the new guitarists that you
You're
are
digging
digging
literally.
lately.
Okay, okay. First of all, let me say hi to Simone and Daniele. Welcome.
Hi, Simone and Daniele.
And thanks, Filippo, for all of these great
And also
questions.
for all the people that are following us, even if we're still speaking after more than 2.5 hours.
Oh,
And
shit!
that's
Two
yeah, and that's here on
24.
my channel. On my
Wow!
channel, that's a record. We never did more than two
I,
hours.
yeah, me too. And I didn't realize man, we are two pain in the ass as a human beings. We
I
talked a
mean,
lot.
we speak about guitar, we speak about music,
Oh,
and there are
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people
This,
that can
this,
relate to that.
we have to.
Unfortunately,
Let's do it again because I think we can talk for 8 hours straight.
yeah, but I think next time we can just prepare something more musical. We find
Yeah,
some
yeah.
song
Let's do it
recording
again. Yeah, yeah,
together, playing
yeah.
together.
And answering to Filippo, the most innovative modern guitarist, and
I know which one you're talking about now.
yeah, and of course the answer is pretty obvious. It's for me, it's Tazim Abbasi. He's the you know the the father of the modern guitar playing. Sorry, and he, even if I know, because we are older, he didn't made up a lot of the things he plays. I mean, he didn't invent the thumping, and
He took from different sources and made it his own way.
Yeah, it took a lot of things here and there, and blended and in a very unique way, and
also in a way that was more like modern in a way, like more into the modern.
Yeah, and I am a big Animals as Leaders fans now. I really like that band, and I like their music. But the first time I listened to them when they came out, I didn't like them. It was too weird, too extreme. There was something, robotic in their music. I didn't like.
You're talking about the first or the second album?
The first album, the one with the song "Caffo" in it.
Yeah, that's the first one. I didn't really like it either.
Yeah.
I like this from the second album. It was a completely different stuff.
And but now I do enjoy also the first record from Animals as Leaders. I just changed my approach, and I think Tosin it's the godfather or the modern guitar playing. And but there is a lot of people out there which is doing great stuff, and I don't know. I like Ivet Young, and which he played. Ivet Young, a girl.
Yeah. Actually, me and her, we played together. Not together, but we played the set after each other at the hotel.
Oh, really?
At NAMM 2017.
Yeah.
She was endorsed by Hoton for a little while when the X-Stomp came out.
Yeah.
And I remember she was at the booth and she played. We had the two posters at the booth. So we were we actually played every day, one after the other one at the.
Oh yeah, cool.
She was playing a pink Stratocaster, I think.
Maybe
right?
I remember. Yeah, she's she's an Ibanez artist, and she has his signature model, which is basically a Talman with a very weird finish, green glittery finish. Nice guitar, and I don't know. There are a lot of good people out there. There are a lot of great players, and just Tosin and Ivet are the first two guys that now came in my mind. But probably I don't know. I don't know. You name it. What are your favorite modern guitar?
First, I think I heard a little bit of influence, of course, of Tosin Abbasi on the new stuff that you did with Ink. Sometimes here and there are some.
Yeah, a bit, just a bit. Yeah.
And there is also a little bit of maybe in one song, a little bit of that the thumb technique.
Two songs. There's a pattern like this. It's like a slap groovy kind of stuff. Yeah.
But do you also do like because the thing that it's kind of difficult if I understood correctly, like he does that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the upstroke with
you have to move in two directions.
That's crazy. I never really practiced on that, but just because it's way far away from what I do.
Yeah, and by the way, Filippo is very good with this technique. I just, I'm learning. I'm still learning. Yeah, but but I did learn. I did practice.
I still do that. The
Yeah,
funky stuff with the.
I didn't practice, and this is again part of the previous answer. I didn't practice that much this kind of technique because I don't want it to sound like Tosin.
Of course, of course, of course. It was just
I
an
really,
influence. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I really admire his playing, but I didn't want to really learn his stuff because maybe 15 years ago I would learn exactly every
Yeah,
note.
yeah, but you just need to see what you like and try to
Yeah, yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
something
So
out
I
of
like
it. For me,
to see what the other guys are doing, and then creating my version of it instead of learning in a proper way the concepts. Yeah, there are for sure Animals as Leaders influence in the Inkfall albums. Yeah, absolutely.
and a guitar player that I like, I mean, composer and guitar player is probably Pliny, of course. He did a couple of
Oh,
really good
yeah,
albums.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
and I and I honest, I'm not sure if you like him or not, but I heard also something in that direction from your last album. Is it possible? Like
Pliny.
some harm? Yeah,
Not really, because I don't. I listen. I listen very, very several times, but not that much. I never
because
did.
I got, I mean, in my last album a little bit of influence from him, but
In
I
your,
probably it's just it's do you hear it? Because
no, I didn't.
I was
I didn't.
okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Because I hear it, but I know that, so it's like okay, I got inspired a little bit. I listened to that before to make this,
Yeah,
but of course it sounds completely different, which is a good thing.
yeah,
And and I still hear that influence there, but I'm pretty sure that nobody else can hear that.
yeah. I
And
didn't
then
know
I
this.
know that this, yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
covered up with a lot of stuff that I usually have.
Sometimes we are aware or we are convinced of things that are there are
Yeah, but
only
I
our,
the
you know
thing is that in a way or another, I got inspired by him. So if it shows, it's okay. If it doesn't shows, it's okay anyways. Because the point was not to exactly copy him. It was just okay. This is cool. I can just use it in my
yeah,
composition.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
if it
yeah,
doesn't sound like that, it's even better. It means
yeah.
that
But for me,
it
the
found its place.
yeah, but the Pliny thing is more in terms of songwriting and production rather than
Yeah, 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 yeah. But of course, I mean, yeah.
guitar playing.
Like I think
Yeah.
I was talking about more like a synth thing that you have,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
an atmosphere, a harmony, or something like that.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
not
Yeah.
not the playing.
Pliny, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's more about sounds rather than guitar for me. And yeah, and someone else. There's a lot of good people out there, and I don't remember the names.
I
in
mean,
the,
of course, my favorite artist of all times is Devin Townsend.
oh
And
yeah, I know this. I know this.
I love that guy as a composer, as a singer, as a guitar player, as a producer, everything he does. He's a really good guitar player. He likes the way that he sees the structure of the song, all the harmonies, and the the way that he starts, like gives the start to a song really simple, and then build up all the harmony and the structure, and he's just a great musician, and I inspire myself a lot to him. Probably that shows way more on the composition because I grew up with that kind of.
Yeah, but you don't sound like him. You should do. You should write more in major key to
So,
in major
uh,
keys. You should write
well,
more major stuff
yeah.
in if you for sounding like David Townsend. Yeah, and,
Well,
yeah, but
I thought I was sounding a little bit more like him, but if I don't, even better. The way that I always did my things, it was my own way. So I don't think actually there. Of course, yes, there is some meshuga sometimes on the rhythms. That is something that
yeah,
you recognize, not because it sounds similar to meshuga, but that kind of a rhythm approach comes from
yeah.
him.
Meshuggah, they have this extremely
That
strong personality. and that you
and, and
instantly recognize Meshuggah
and
instantly.
of course we are forgetting. I mean, one really important for me, who is, I think it's to this point my mentor, because I have lessons with him every once in a while, is Matthias Eklund. He
Oh,
is,
that's
of course,
genius! Yeah, he's a genius.
if you had to find like yeah, a genius, basically a
Yeah, he's
modern genius of how
yeah, absolutely.
to the way that he reinterpreted the instrument, and it's probably he's the guy, so
Yeah, and
completely completely unique
yeah,
musician.
absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, and funny to say, he's a special guest of your last album
Yeah,
and in
and yours.
four albums as well. And he did, and you actually, connect me and Matthias. And so I have to say thanks again for this. And he, when he sent me his guitar solo, I was speechless. And he played in a song called "Spectre of the Elements," and in our album, in the Inkfall album, and I was totally speechless. His guitar solo is out of this world, and it's really weird, even for his own standards. It's completely insane, and I love
uh
it.
Question: did
Yeah,
you did you tap the solo he did
no,
afterwards?
it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Would be cool to tap it and show that.
I can't
Uh,
play like that. I will never play like that. It's too complex. It's too Matthias. And what I
No,
love about
I know. That's why it would be cool to see how it is, because I haven't seen him doing that.
yeah,
But I mean, it's his typical style in a way, because
yeah, but
the
it's
playing all the slides and stuff like that.
yeah, but in that song of us, it's kind of I don't know what happened to Matthias that day, but he recorded a guitar solo which is an extreme version of Matthias Eklund playing, and
I mean,
it's
it was I think that that part that you gave him, assigned him, it was an invitation in a way, because it was kind of
yeah,
like,
because
okay,
it was
yeah,
really weird.
okay,
Yeah.
I let you play something that you, in a way, you are used to play more,
Oh
because
yeah,
he's
absolutely.
more like into
And
the
there is
crazy rhythms.
probably that is the heaviest part in the entire album. And I wrote this very heavy rhythm guitar part, really inspired by Meshuggah, with a lot of rest in it. It goes like this. It goes. With this weird minor chord with the major seventh
That
in it.
a black metal a black metal thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
it is.
For me, it's a James Bond chord. I didn't know it was a black metal. This
Yeah,
is
it's a black metal. I mean, now it's not a black metal anymore, but I mean,
yeah,
the
yeah.
harmony
You know what
is
you mean,
the
the old school black metal.
yeah.
And yeah, Matthias was really. He is in a league of itself. He's just not of. He's different. Yeah.
There is this other guy, which is Per Nilsson. He's a really good guitar
Oh,
player.
Nilsson, yes, he's great. He's
And
great. I
he's
mean,
playing, of course, he's playing in Meshuggah now.
yeah, I saw him play with Meshuggah in
And
Rome.
he's stepping in for he's a step in for Thunderbolt.
Frederick Tordendal, yeah.
Yeah, when I guess he took a break or something like that for
Yeah, a
his
very long
career.
break because it's
Yeah,
yeah.
3, 4, 5 years. Yeah,
Wow,
but
long break.
it's still a higher gun. It's not in the band.
Wow. And I'm talking about modern players. I really liked the last Sarah Longfield album,
I
and
will listen to it. I will.
yeah, it's very good song and very electronic, nice album. And oh, there's an incredible album I listened last week, which is from a band called Sardid Pink. You know this band?
No, no.
And there is David Maxim Micic
Ah,
in
yeah, I
it.
know him. Yeah, I know who he is.
And we
I mean,
can,
I
I
don't
think,
know him personally, but I know who he is.
yeah, me too. I think we can consider him as a modern player, answering to
Great.
Philip.
More than, I mean, he's a great player, but
Yeah,
I see him more like a modern composer in a way because he does
more producer.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
producer and composer. Yeah, he does way more than just playing the guitar.
yeah.
He does everything by himself for what
Yeah,
he
and
understood. And
he created this band with a girl, with a singer, and
okay.
it's kind of modern metal and Paramore mixed together.
But
And
is it the same singer that is singing on his solo stuff?
I don't know, I don't know, I don't even know the name of this girl, but she's
I don't know.
really a good singer. And yeah, it's like Paramore on acid, something like this. Yeah, it's cool.
And then
Very,
there is this other guy from Sweden who is I mean, he's unknown. I mean, he played in the last Virtus Donatic album, and his name is Karl Morner Ringström. He is Swedish.
I didn't know this. I don't know.
Have you heard?
No.
That is a really great talent. He's
Oh.
he's like an Alan Oswald kind of guy.
Ah. Wow.
But really young. He's probably, I mean, really young. He's probably, I don't know, in 28, 30, 32
Ah,
years
wow.
old.
Late 20s. Wow.
I saw him playing. It was really impressive.
Wow. And okay, what is his name again? I want
It's
to
kind
check.
of complicated. It's Karl Morner Ringström. Ringström.
Okay, send me a video.
I'm not even sure that he did any solo album, but he is
Okay,
playing guitar
tell me
in
something
some
because I will
Virtual
never
Donati album.
be able to write his name correctly just by listening. And there is
In the
Filippo say,
meanwhile, we got some messages.
yeah, I got two messages, and Filippo says Tosin will be on my list too, of course. He recommends us Charlie Robbins. I don't know this guy. Do you know Charlie Robbins?
No, no.
We'll check it. Plinis, of course. Fabrizio, ciao Fabrizio, and nice to see you guys. Bella raga, bella. Yeah, and yeah, and about the modern players, I guess those
Also,
are.
so once we have also Davide Castagnone, who said Grandi ragazzi. He's a friend of mine.
Thanks,
He's a
thank you.
friend. Maybe did you meet him? No, you haven't met him.
I don't.
He never worked. He never worked for us as a sound engineer. He's a great sound engineer.
No.
No, because we had the replacement the latest time we played together in Italy.
We played together. There was this extremely kind guy. Oh shit! I don't remember his name.
When we
Oh,
played
fuck,
there was
really old. Eduardo. Eduardo Raisaro. Eduardo. Nice guy. Very great engineer. Wow. He did a great job.
In the beginning, there was
Oh,
supposed to be.
sorry, Eduardo. I forgot your name, but I'm totally, my brain is.
I did. I had to think about it. I mean, not his name, but I had to think who was that day because we had a couple of different engineers. So.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't work with Davide.
No.
Yes.
We will later on. He has a big YouTube channel and he's doing a lot of tutorials and stuff like that. Yeah.
About guitar playing or about
No, it's more. I mean, he's a guitar player. He was my student a long time ago, and now I work with him. He's an engineer, great engineer and producer, and we will have the chance to work together probably when we go back to normal. If we go back to normal, when we go back.
If I hope so, yeah. I hope there is.
He does a lot of Cubase tutorials and all those kind of things.
Okay. I I will check Davide's videos. I'm interested in everything is good out there. And
And Fabrizio says, I would like to hear you playing something modern together.
oh yeah,
Maybe we
together,
can organize something.
yeah, we can do it. Not in the moment, not right now, because there is this latency issue.
Exactly.
We can't. Let me remember that Deme is in Norway. I'm in Rome, so it's a bit of distance. And maybe next time we will be, I don't know, in the same room making live streaming. And of course, you are always welcome when you want. Come to my place. You stay here. And,
now I can't, because I cannot come to Italy, because everything, all the borders, you know that all the borders are closed. So.
Oh yeah, of course. When this shit, this COVID.
If I come to your place for one day, then I need to be closed inside my house for 2 weeks when I come back. You know?
Yeah. That's true. That's
but it will. But you know what? We can do another live session later on. And
and
we can find a way. We can find a way to make it work, because nowadays we have a lot of tools that we didn't have before. You know, there is
absolutely. Or I don't know.
This new stuff which is called listen to. That the opportunity to.
Maybe I don't know, but maybe Fabrizio was referring to actually playing in a song or in a video or really
or in a club.
Or in a club again. Yeah. And he was at when we played in Rome. He was there.
I remember.
I clearly remember. And it was a nice evening. Just besides all the technical problems, I will never forget, because I will never forget that night. But good night.
A collaboration or a live gig and a collaboration. Sorry,
yeah,
I have to say that
yeah. He answered a collaboration or a live gig. Yeah, we can do it.
But the collaboration is happening soon.
Yeah, collaboration.
We cannot say more than that, but we have.
Yeah. We won't say more, but maybe another. Yeah, we can do more stuff together. And on a gig, I would like to, and absolutely. And last time we make a gig together was a couple of years ago in Italy, and in northern part of Italy, probably 2018, February.
I think it was 2018. Yeah, February. Yeah.
And we all of us, we made our own set. And then we played a bunch of covers at the ending together. We played Orion from Metallica, and was good.
I mean, good. The great thing is that we do a lot of crazy shit. Like nobody would ever think about. Okay, we don't rehearse, of course. We
go
on stage, and you played that, and I played that, and this is the part, and that is the other part, and and we don't just rehearse that. We just go on stage when people are there, and we play, and we have the chance that we fuck it up completely.
Absolutely.
I mean, the challenge is accepted.
Yeah.
However it's gonna go, we don't stop. So that's the only rule, and hopefully it's gonna go the right way. And with all the of course it's Orion. It's an instrumental piece of 8 minutes probably.
8 minutes, yeah.
I'm not sure that Metallica would have played better if they never rehearsed that. So
I don't know, but it's to play Orion in a band with a drummer and a bass player. It's way harder than I expected. It's not an easy song at all. And I totally remember I had to be extremely focused on parts and the right and all the harmony parts. There are a lot of bendings, and we have to be perfectly in pitch. And I had probably this.
So I have the fifth. The fifth.
Or I want. This is the lower part. By the way, it's extremely easy to fuck up with this part because the bendings are so low, so and so wide, and if two guitar players, we had to have exactly the same bending and the same
the same timing,
yes, same
because
timing, and
if you move too much.
yeah, it's not an easy song. It's not as easy as it
But I
looks.
mean, we did that. Probably, I mean, probably we did something wrong here and there, which is completely normal.
I don't remember. We did it. We did it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. I don't remember. And
yeah. I mean,
we had
something wrong, like something like, I don't know. You know, like it's difficult to play exactly like in the album. That's what I mean.
yeah, but
If you don't rehearse several times.
yeah, but even in the album is played just by Hetfield. So just one. You didn't know this?
I mean, the solos Hammett is probably playing
only the solos. Yeah, only the solos. But the harmony part is Hetfield. Yeah, and which is the
like a lot of it makes perfect sense if you think about it.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. Absolutely.
But also because that kind of music, like the guitars, they need to be extremely tight, and it's basically not possible if two guys they do that, because they anyway, even if they are tight as fuck, anyway they play in a different way. They have a different timing, and if just the guy plays that, anyways, it's gonna be way more tight.
Yeah, it totally makes sense, and of course, James Hetfield is probably the best rhythm guitar player ever. I guess I was thinking about this, and for me, the heavy metal riff makers are him, James Hetfield, Dimebag, and Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath. Those 3 guys are the rhythmic guitar players and the riff makers. And
I mean, my playing had to do has a lot to do with James Hetfield. I mean, the rise from James Hetfield, all the people who came after him, like Dimebag Darrell, and then Fear Factory, Dino Cazares. That kind
too. Yeah.
Even if, of course, I don't play so many extreme stuff anymore, but still, my palm mute is that one. You know, my idea of song has a lot to do with Metallica.
Yeah. I the same as you. I started, first things I learned was Metallica and Guns N' Roses, basically. So I learned entire albums from those bands, and that's basically what I did every day when I'm from the 12 years old to, I don't know, 17 or 16. Instead of doing homeworks, I played Metallica's music, and that's it.
Yeah, me too. Exactly the same thing. And Fabrizio says, yes, I completely agree. Maybe also some Nuno Bettencourt funky riffs.
Oh!
Like this.
Yeah, this is one of the most difficult riffs.
That's difficult.
And there is this, this is one of the most difficult riffs for me. There's this part.
But this part. Do you play that alternate picking, or you just play legato?
At the beginning, I was playing with the alternate picking. I watched the live show on YouTube, extreme concert, an extreme concert, and a Decadence Dance in a moment. And he Nuno plays this like this. He just it's legato and palm muting. So
Something like
and Fabrizio asked for the Decadence Dance riff, and I remember. Yeah, something like this. And I guess the last time I played this riff was 2 or 3 years ago when I made a video about this the guitar solo of this song, and I played the riff too. And yeah, at least 2 years ago. So this is just what I remember about the Decadence Dance riff after 2 years. And yeah, Nuno Bettencourt is also a incredible guitar player, but I would not label him as a heavy metal player. It's more, rock musician, like other guys like Steve Vai. For me, he's not a heavy metal player.
Like Eddie Van Halen. Nobody's like Eddie Van Halen.
Nobody, no. No, let's talk about Eddie. And wow, and it has been the news last week hit so hard to me, and I didn't expect it would hit that hard, because usually when somebody really famous passed away, of course I am sorry about him, but this time it's like somebody in my family died. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but for the first time I felt this kind of bond with him, and I never met him. I don't know why, but I was really, really, really sad about this loss, and I don't know. First time it happens to me, something like that. It was really.
Are you planning to do any tribute, any songs?
And let me say this: I gave a speech about him, about what he meant for me, in my last YouTube video, which is not about Eddie Van Halen in the title. It's called Melodic Guitar Lesson. Melodic Soloing. This is the title of the video. It's a guitar lesson about how to develop your sense of melody and etc. But I felt the need to say something about him at the beginning of the video. But I didn't want to do a proper video on my channel, because I didn't want to gain views out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, because and that's also the challenge, because I mean, if you do something like that, people might just think that you do that to get more, because some people do that.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you grow up with the sound and you feel that you're one, because I believe that also for me, Eddie Van Halen was probably one of the biggest influence that I have as a musician.
Yeah,
but not just because I love the playing of the guy. It's because everybody that I studied with loved the play of the guy. So I got a lot of sources from guys even before to really understand who he was.
Yeah, but let me say this, and I on YouTube especially, I saw a lot of different videos about the passing of Eddie Van Halen, and some of those were absolutely genuine and true. Like, I don't know, the Tim Pierce video was really touching, or the Neely Brosh, the guitar player, and she just played the Girl Gone Bad intro, and you can clearly see he was sincerely sad. But on the other hand, I saw other videos about people I didn't like. I didn't like those kind of content because I had the feeling they were just dancing on the grave of Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
And so, in order to avoid this misconception, I didn't film nothing. I didn't film anything about Eddie directly. I just said what I wanted to say in a video officially about something else, and I'm good. I'm good with myself in this way. But I'm going to film Van Halen tribute video with riffs and something for Guitar Club magazine the next week. Yeah. So this is something different because they called me and they asked me, "Do you want to make a video tribute about Eddie for us?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, man. You have to know this. Rossana, which is the director, you know her of Guitar Club. She is the biggest Van Halen fan in the world, probably." And I called her a couple of days after the sad news, and we were about to cry at the phone. We were really, really sad. And Francesco, which is the, let's say, the vice director, and the second guy in Guitar Club, is the same. He's a big Van Halen fan, and we talk about Van Halen all the time. We call each other, and for one reason, for another. And so, since these two people asked me to make a Van Halen video, I said yes, because I know that they meant this content in the best way possible. They are sincere. And but let me say this: I saw a lot of crap on YouTube about Van Halen.
Well, in my case, this week I just took my Axis out.
Yeah.
Is one of my favorite guitars, anyways. And but this was the first guitar I came with to Norway. When I came into Norway in the beginning, I had this guitar and that Line 6 pod that is over.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah, I still have the 2.0 version.
I have two of those, of course. But and this week I just took this guitar out just to celebrate the life of Eddie Van Halen, and the only thing I did it was just to explain to my students who he was, what he did.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
some of those are really young, so they really don't.
They don't
Maybe
know.
they know Metallica, but they don't know who Eddie Van Halen was. And
Yeah, some of my students, they don't know Metallica even. So they're very
you know what I mean.
youngest people. Yeah.
So far, this is what I did this week, and probably this weekend I'm gonna do a tribute video to just to celebrate the life in my small bubble of this,
Yeah, of course. But
this genius that we had the pleasure to have in
yeah. And let me say this, since we're talking about, for me, this is the best riff ever. Man, this is a masterpiece.
Yep.
This is amazing. And wow, Eddie really changed the electric guitar. And he was like, the Leonardo da Vinci of the modern guitar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And and then when I never really saw any, I never really been at a concert, but when I saw the videos of because honestly, I never been like that big fan of the band Van Halen, but I could actually take the guitar out, every single guitar out of every song, and just listen to the guitar. You know what I mean? Which people wouldn't do that because they would find listen to just the guitar line just really boring and I don't know, and without any senses. But I would just listen to that and just would make my day, because every single time he touched the instrument is just a magic.
Yeah, he's just incredible, and he is known most for the the tapping stuff, etc. But he is one of the best rhythmic guitar players I've ever listened to. He was
Yeah, the
insane,
rhythm was the rhythm was
insane.
incredible, and he
How?
started playing. He started playing the drums in the beginning,
Yeah, yeah. And then he
and then
switched
and
with
then
the
they
brother.
exchanged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
And anyways, I think you know what? I think now it's almost 1 in the morning here in Europe,
oh
and
yeah, it is. Uh,
I think that the last subject was the greatest that we could actually speak about today, and it's a really good way to wrap it
yeah,
up, in my
I didn't
opinion.
expect this live streaming would last that long. 3
Well,
hours.
you know what? I didn't know it was going to be 3 hours, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that we are not lacking any subjects tonight because I know
Oh
that
yeah,
both me and you we like to talk. So it's gonna take at least 1.5 hours. I was thinking, which is a
oh yeah.
standard
At
for me.
least yes. I
But
imagine
if
at least one half an hour, maximum 2 hours. I didn't. I
that,
wouldn't expect 3 hours. Yeah.
that's more than 3 hours. That's almost 3.5 hours. So I challenge anybody who didn't see that to go and watch everything from scratch. You know, and if you do that, you're gonna probably receive a reward from it. You know.
I hope so. I hope
Anyway,
so. And,
anyway, thank you
anyway,
very much for taking the
thank
time to
you.
do that. It was a
Thank you so much.
great fun, and it was
Thanks.
we didn't see each other for a long time. Also, this
Yeah,
time it was more or less 10 months, and I look forward to the next time. We'll do
absolutely.
some
And
collaboration together
maybe,
because we're working already on a video together, which will be
yeah,
out in some weeks probably,
yeah,
and maybe we can do another live session together later on
yeah,
when we do
absolutely.
something
And
more
let me
specific.
ask something to the guys who now watching us, and let us know if you want us to do this again, and maybe next month, or I don't know, in a few weeks, because I think, and I can speak also for them. We had fun this evening, and 3 hours for me passed like this. It's been just a blink of an eye. So it's quality time. It's a good. It's time well spent when it
Yeah,
lasts.
absolutely, absolutely. It's
When it
inspirational.
yeah, yeah.
Inspirational, first of
So
all.
let us know. And yeah, thank you so much for hosting me. It's been a real pleasure to hang,
My pleasure. My pleasure.
play, and let's do it again. And yeah, and Fabrizio just already answered. Do it again. Yeah, we will. And thanks for connecting with us. And of course, thanks to anybody who reached out, and Eric and
Yeah,
Filippo and
and everybody who tune in that we don't know who they are because there have been a lot of people during, of course, those
yeah, yeah, yeah.
3.5 hours. Everybody who tune in, thank you very much.
Yeah, maybe next time we will keep an eye on the watch a little bit more. So we'll we will organize the time frames a little bit more, or not,
It's
or
also a
not.
good way to lose control of the clock
Yeah,
because
absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, thanks, Deme. Thanks, guys.
thank
It's been a
thank you
real
very
pleasure
much.
here.
See you
Rock
everybody
and roll.
next time. Thank you very
See you next
much.
time. Bye. Have a good night. Have a good night.